So there I was, feeling like my entire body was on fire, like 1,000 ants decided to throw a rave under my skin. My hands started ripping at my own clothes without permission. Not great. Then I heard the creepiest laughter ever. A bunch of lowlife thugs were watching me, making disgusting comments like they'd won some kind of terrible lottery. That snapped me right awake. I bit my own lip hard enough to draw blood because, hello, I just got reborn. That's right, I died, and now I'm back in 1970, 2 months into my life as a sent-down youth in the countryside. My so-called foster sister, Sun Qianqian, that two-faced snake, tricked me into eating drugged pastries and invited these creeps to ruin me. But joke's on her, because I remember everything from my past life. And I know that in about 3 minutes, a military officer named Xiao Yuyan is going to walk down this exact path. He's basically my cheat code. I grabbed the nearest rock, forced myself to stand, and thought, Xiao Yuyan spent years trying to teach me self-defense. I refused every single lesson, but apparently my brain recorded all of it anyway. Thanks, past life, muscle memory. One of the thugs got cocky and walked up to me first. Big mistake. I smashed him right in his pressure point with my rock fist combo. Down he went like a sack of potatoes. Guaranteed he won't be getting up for 10 minutes. Touching these guys? Disgusting. I'd rather wrestle a pig. That bought me just enough time, and then that voice. Who's there? Deep. Cold. Terrifying. Like winter itself, learned to talk. A flashlight beam hit the thugs' faces. Xiao Yuyan memorized every single one. Someone yelled, "Run," and they scrambled away like cockroaches when you flip the light on. Then my legs gave out. The drug was winning. I was about to faceplant into the dirt when a strong arm caught me. Very cinematic, 10 out of 10 timing. Save me, I begged, grabbing onto him. I'm from the Xiangyang Brigade. Take me somewhere safe. Now, in my last life, I didn't even talk, I just saw his uniform and immediately jumped him. We did the deed, and then Qianqian's people caught us red-handed. Classic trap. This time, I'm playing it smarter. He carried me like I weighed nothing. I wrapped my arms around his neck, and, okay, the drug was really kicking in now. My face was burning, my whole body was a furnace, and even through layers of clothing, he could probably feel me radiating heat like a space heater. I'll take you to a doctor, he said, all business. No time. I practically whimpered. My cheek smushed against his neck on its own. His entire body went stiff as a board. Take me somewhere safe and just have me, okay? Look, I know how that sounds. But I already decided the moment I woke up reborn. I am marrying this man. Last life I slept with him anyway. Might as well do it on purpose this time with a plan. My hands found his shirt buttons in the moonlight. Then his collar opened up, and I saw his Adam's apple and chomp. Bit it. I happen to know that's his sensitive spot. He made a sound. A very interesting sound. How much farther? I squirmed. I seriously can't hold on. It took him about 3 seconds to do the math, and then he just sprinted toward the mountain. Smart man. He knew if I went back to the village like this, the gossip alone would destroy me. His logic was beautifully simple. I held her. She bit me. I'll marry her. I'll call the army tomorrow to file the marriage report. He actually said this out loud, and even with my brain melting, I caught it. Wait, so you're saying if you have me, you'd better marry me? I shot back. We reached a hidden cave, his old secret hideout from before he joined the army. Very spy movie. He carried me in and set me on a wooden plank. It's dirty, let me lay something down. Yeah, no. I could not wait. I used his body as a ladder, stood up, and started clawing his jacket off. Hands working, lips reaching, standing on tiptoes trying to kiss him. He grabbed my waist, looked me dead in the eyes, and said in the most dangerously serious voice, "Last chance to back out." I froze. Looked up at him with my flushed, stubborn little face and said, "Are you going to keep yapping, or are you just not up for it?" Silence. I could practically hear his brain short-circuit. Then he kissed me. And well, clothes hit the floor, the cave got steamy, and let's just say things happened. Multiple times. After round 1, I did not feel cured, so I dragged him into round 2. When I reached for round 3, he stopped me. "Your body can't handle more." I'm taking you to the pool. He wrapped me in his shirt, carried me to a nearby mountain pool, and lowered me into the cold water. I shivered and burrowed into his chest, and, okay, fine. One more round happened in the water. Don't judge me, the drug was strong. Finally, my head cleared. He carried me back, I got dressed, and felt like a functioning human again. Thank you, I said sweetly. Can you secretly take me back to the youth dormitory? I made sure to emphasize secretly. Because I know this man. He absolutely has the skills to pull it off. And this time, Qianqian's little trap is going to catch absolutely nothing. Let me tell you about my previous life because it was an absolute dumpster fire. Last time around, after the cave incident, Sun Qianqian's people showed up and caught us together, exactly as planned by that scheming witch. I told Xiao Yuyan to run, but this stubborn mule of a man refused. I'll take responsibility, he said. Like, sir, I did not ask. Old me? Old me was a certified snob. A military officer from the countryside? Marry him? Please. I had my dad pull strings and got this man, who was literally about to become a regiment commander, demoted and shipped off to some dusty farm in the northwest. And honestly, that was the gentle version. I originally wanted him thrown in prison, because apparently past me was not just a snob but also a truly terrible person. Meanwhile, Qianqian made sure the whole countryside scandal followed me back to the city, adding extra spice to every detail like she was seasoning a stew of my misery. I found out I was pregnant shortly after, and between the gossip, the pointing fingers, and the stress, I miscarried. My body broke down. I became a walking pharmacy, barely held together by medicine and stubbornness. The girl who used to be the golden princess of the military compound? Gone. Replaced by someone everyone avoided like she was contagious. Then it got worse. Because of course it got worse. My dad got reported and sent to a labor camp. He died within a few years. My second brother heard the news while on a military mission, lost focus, lost his life. My eldest brother, devastated by everything, made a catastrophic mistake in his research, got framed for stealing scientific results, and ended up in prison. The Yi family, once the envy of everyone, shattered into pieces. And guess who was leading the charge to kick us while we were down? That's right, Sun Qianqian and her delightful mother, Lu Suxia. The same woman my dad had been generously supporting for years. They'd stolen our family's hidden wealth before the house raids, and Qianqian used it to marry my childhood sweetheart Zhang Sui, climb into his powerful family, and build a business empire. All funded with MY family's money. Life has a sick sense of humor because I somehow got sent to the exact same northwest farm where Xiao Yuyan was stationed. By then, he'd work his way up from nobody's soldier to the person in charge. When he saw me, he was shocked but also genuinely happy. This man I'd ruined was happy to see me. Let that sink in. He declared himself my fiancé and took care of me. Every single day. Rain, snow, didn't matter. Food, water, supplies. Never missed a delivery. He tried to make me laugh. He showed me self-defense moves. He treated me like I was precious when the entire world treated me like garbage. And that's when it hit me. This countryside nobody I'd looked down on? He was smarter, more capable, and more impressive than every single privileged kid I grew up with combined. But my broken body couldn't hold on. 2 years later, I died. Young, full of regret, and too proud to ever tell him how I felt. Here's where it gets weird. After I died, my spirit just hung around him, like a ghost subscription service he never signed up for. I watched him return to the military. I watched his own family members die one by one from various tragedies. I watched him climb all the way to the top of the military world in the capital, powerful, respected, and completely, utterly alone. And you know what the first thing he did with all that power was? He investigated Sun Qianqian, now a fancy daughter-in-law of the prestigious Jiang family, and her mother. He dug up every murder they'd committed, every dirty deal they'd made, and dragged it all into the light. Both of them were sentenced to death. Executed. Bang bang. Then he got my eldest brother out of prison and sent him abroad to safety. And then, he filed for retirement. Everyone begged him to stay. He refused. He'd earned his rank through actual bullets and battlefields. He owed nobody anything. The country was stable and prosperous. He'd done everything he needed to do, settled every score, arranged every loose end. All he wanted was to be with the woman who'd been dead for years, but never left his heart. So, I watched Xiao Yuyan die at my grave. And then everything went dark for me too. Now I'm back, reborn. And I have a very simple to-do list. 1. Marry Xiao Yuyan.
Non negotiable.
That man is mine. 2. Keep every single person in the Yi family and the Xiao family alive and well. 3. Make Sun Qianqian and Lu Suxiao experience a fate worse than death, then let them die.
Clear? Good. Moving on.
Don't cry. At dawn I'll file the marriage report. I'm going to marry you. His voice pulled me back to reality. Turns out while I was mentally replaying my tragic past life highlight reel, I'd been sobbing like a broken faucet. I looked up and met his eyes, warm, gentle, absolutely smitten, and nodded. Carry me on your back. You made my legs go numb, remember? My voice was all raspy and soft. I stretched my arms toward him with tears still on my face, but a little grin sneaking through. He frowned, then reached out to wipe my tears, but the second his rough fingers touched my skin, he yanked his hand back like he'd touched a hot stove. This giant military man was genuinely worried his fingers would scratch my face. I burst out laughing. You know, I said, being absolutely shameless. You could just kiss the tears away. He stared at me.
Blinked. Processing.
Then, I kid you not, he cupped my face and gently kissed every tear off my cheeks. Zero romantic intent. Pure problem-solving energy. Like a very sweet, very confused soldier completing a mission.
Done.
No more tears. Get on. He crouched down and I climbed onto his back. The second I pressed against him, I heard his breathing get heavier. Interesting. Filing that away for later. As we left, he expertly covered up the cave entrance, while I watched from his back like a lazy koala. Is this place yours? I asked, playing innocent.
Yeah.
I used to hunt in these mountains before joining the army. Now I only come during leave. Wow, that's so cool. Oh, we don't even know each other's names yet. Obviously, I knew everything about him down to his shoe size, but technically, first meeting. Gotta play it cool.
Mei Suiwan.
Sway, as in peace every year. Wan as in evening. I'm a sent-down youth from the capital. And you? Xiao Yuyan.
My Yen.
I leaned in close to his ear, breathing warm air against it. I could feel his entire body go rigid. This man is so fun to tease. Xiao Yuyan. After my leave ends, I'm heading to Lu Province to command the 1st Regiment of the Production Corps. After we marry, would you come with me? It'll be 2 or 3 months though. The Corps just started. Conditions might be worse than here. When I didn't answer immediately, he panicked and added, if you don't want to come, that's fine too. I'll give you my entire salary. You can live with my family, the house is big, they'll look after you. Dude, I'm marrying you. Wherever you go, I go. Obviously, the 2 to 3 month wait is that for building family housing. Perfect. 2 to 3 months is plenty of time. Plenty of time to defuse the ticking bombs in the Xiao family and surgically remove the tumors from the Yi family. The walk down the mountain was smooth. We chatted, and before I knew it, we were at the youth dormitory. See that last row of little houses? The one on the end is mine, I whispered. I'll sneak back in. I wanted to keep talking to him all night, but hey, we literally have a whole lifetime ahead of us now. I'm making sure of that. Xiao Yuyan scanned the area like the trained military man he is and said, those thugs, I memorized their faces. I'll deal with them. Don't worry. His voice dropped about 10 degrees when he said that. Chills. Literal chills. I love this man. Actually, I said, going ice cold myself. Find out where they usually hang out. I need that info, because Sun Qianqian sent me a gift tonight and Mama needs to return the favor. With interest. He didn't ask why. He just said, done. I'll send someone tomorrow to arrange the marriage. This man. No questions, no hesitation. Just whatever you need. Where was my brain last life? Before leaving, I grabbed his face with both hands, pulled it down, planted a big loud smooch on it, and bolted inside like a startled rabbit. He followed silently, locked my door from outside like I asked, and disappeared into the night. Smart guy already figured tonight's drama wasn't over. But since I didn't bring it up, he didn't push. He just went home to brief his mom. What a keeper. Back in my room, I changed clothes and my fingers brushed the jade pendant hanging around my neck. And just like that, I missed my mom. She left when I was 7, after the divorce, went overseas with my grandpa's family. I'm 18 now, but counting both lives, it's been over 30 years since I've seen her. This pendant is the only thing she left me. I was rubbing it, lost in memories, when something pricked my finger.
Blood.
On the jade. Then a flash of white light, and suddenly I was standing in a completely different place. Before I could properly freak out, I heard the cutest, squeakiest little voice. Welcome, little master. You've entered the farm space. I'm Xiaobao, the space spirit. I'm sorry, the what now?
Who?
Who are you? I was genuinely questioning reality at this point. Reborn? Sure, I accepted that. But now there's a magical farm dimension inside my necklace? With a talking baby mascot?
I'm Xiaobao.
Chubby and white and super adorable Xiaobao. I'm too weak for you to see me right now. But if you work hard, I'll appear eventually. It actually sounded offended that I couldn't see it.
Pouty even.
I had no words. Absolutely none. My life has officially left the rebirth revenge drama genre and entered farming cheat code fantasy. I'm not complaining, just
Processing.
master. Something's happening outside. YYNK. I got snapped back to my dark room like a rubber band. No candles lit, because I'm not an amateur. And right on cue, outside my door. See? Look. Suiwan's door is locked from outside. She's not in there. We need to get the brigade leader right away, Sun Qianqian. Sounding so worried. Oscar-worthy performance, truly. Except I could hear that tiny note of triumph underneath. You smug little, last life, I never heard this part. I was busy being drugged and destroyed on that path.
But now?
Front row seats to the Qianqian show. Suiwan went to her room right after dinner. How could she not be there? Oh, that's Jiang Sui's voice. My childhood friend. Big brother Jiang, I don't know. I just came out to use the bathroom and noticed the lock. I wanted to rip my own ears off. The voice she used with him, all breathy and helpless and nauseating. White Lotus energy cranked to 11. How did I never notice before? She'd been trash-talking Jiang Sui to me for years while secretly batting her eyelashes at him behind my back. Classic manipulation. Keep me away from him so she could have him. Past me was an absolute fool. I'm embarrassed on my own behalf. More people gathered, knocking on my door. Jiang Sui calling my name. Qianqian getting increasingly frantic because her whole plan depended on dragging everyone to that path where those thugs were supposed to be having their way with me. The earlier she got there, the more people would see.
Maximum destruction.
That was her revenge for years of living under our roof. Except there's nothing to find, sweetheart. I'm right here in my bed, perfectly fine. And your hired goons are nursing bruises from my rock. The squad leader told everyone to go search outside. Jiang Sui promised to treat everyone to a meal for the trouble, and I listened to the stampede of footsteps fade into the distance. Enjoy your wild goose chase, Qianqian. I'll be here when you get back, ready to watch your face crumble. As for Jiang Sui, in our last life, his family shipped him off to a lockdown military academy the second my scandal broke. Not because they were heartless, but because they knew him. He would have burned down his own future trying to save me and my family, and the Jiang family couldn't risk that. By the time he graduated and tracked me down, I was already dead. Then somehow Qianqian sank her claws into him and became his wife. The full ugly story only came out when I was ghost stalking Xiao Yuyan's investigation. This time around, I'm going to make sure Jiang Sui stays safe, finds whoever he actually loves, and lives happily. So while I was tucked in my room playing dead, the entire village was out searching for me like I was a missing cat. Meanwhile, at the village entrance, Xiao Yuyan and his mom Lin Lan were casually strolling in from outside, coming from the exact direction of that sketchy path where I'd been attacked. Because My man is a strategist. He'd gone home, told his mom everything, and the two of them had already set up position to intercept the search party. Military family energy at its finest. Dr. Lin, where have you been? Oh hey, is that the Xiao boy? Yuan's back. The villagers swarmed them with greetings. Brigade leader Jiang Aijuan pushed to the front. Dr. Lin Yan, did you rush back overnight? Mama Lin launched into the performance of a lifetime. Of course. It was so late and I couldn't wait anymore, so I went out to meet him. What's going on with all of you out here? She even volunteered her son to help. This woman didn't even blink. The Xiao family should be in theater. The brigade leader waved them off. One of the sent-down youth is missing, but we got plenty of people. You just got home. Go rest. Then Mama Lin hit them with the million-dollar question. Oh no, which youth? Suiwan. The prettiest one. Someone in the crowd just casually dropped that. Thanks, anonymous villager. Flattering, but also very much not the point right now. Suiwan. Mama Lin gasped, all confused innocence. She came to my place before dark to get cold medicine. Said she was going straight to bed. Maybe she's asleep? How'd you even decide she was missing? Boom. Alibi dropped.
Cover story locked in.
I didn't even coordinate this with her. Xiao Yuyan just handled it. The man set up my entire defense while I was busy discovering magical farm dimensions inside my jewelry. What a team. Brigade leader Zhang's eyebrows scrunched together so hard they could have crushed a fly. Song Kai, did you people actually see that her room was empty? Everyone at the youth dormitory started doing that awkward thing where they all look at each other, then slowly turn towards Sun Qianqian. Because, yeah, SHE was the one who insisted I wasn't there. Everyone just followed her lead like sheep. Song Kai, the dormitory leader, tried to explain. We knocked and nobody answered, and the door was locked from outside, so we assumed he trailed off, clearly realizing how dumb that sounded. Ridiculous, the brigade leader snapped. She took cold medicine. She's probably passed out. Even if she heard you, she might not have had the strength to respond. If Dr. Lin hadn't told us this, the whole village would have been searching all night for someone sleeping in her own bed. Chef's kiss. Beautiful. Qianqian's scheme was crumbling in real time, and I wasn't even in the room to watch. Jiang Sui immediately turned to run back to the dormitory. Qianqian grabbed his arm to stop him, because she needed everyone to go to that path, not back to my room, and he shoved her off. Then my new favorite person spoke up. Why are you grabbing him? He's worried about his friend and you're trying to stop him? Sun Qianqian, what exactly is your deal? You've been living in the Yi family's house for years and you don't even seem to want her to be okay. That was Zhou Jingjing. Absolute queen. Apparently, she clocked Qianqian as shady from literally day one. Said she took one look at her and thought, nope, that one's rotten. Some people just have the gift. All the other youth started connecting dots. Qianqian's weird urgency, her insistence I wasn't there, her desperation to drag everyone somewhere else. Yeah, even without evidence, people aren't stupid. Qianqian scrambled. I just want to find Suiwan. We grew up together. Zhou Jingjing wasn't buying it for a second.
Cool.
Then come with me. She grabbed Qianqian's arm and dragged her back toward my room. Qianqian did not want to go. She needed to lead everyone to that path, where the thugs were supposed to be busy destroying me. She'd been watching my door all evening and only dozed off briefly, so she was absolutely certain I couldn't be inside.
Surprise, witch.
I'm home. Zhou Jingjing arrived at my door, where Jiang Sui was already knocking. Suiwan, are you in there? Are you sick?
Dr.
Lin said you have a cold. Do you have a fever? Poor guy was genuinely panicking. In his memory, I never got sick. Meanwhile, I'm under my blanket processing new intel.
Cold?
Fever? Dr. Lin? Connect the dots and Xiao Yuyan's mom provided me a cover story. This man mobilized his own mother within minutes of dropping me off. I'm marrying into the right family. Zhou Jingjing took charge. Step aside. I'll open her door and check. Sorry for the intrusion. Jiang Sui was grateful. He couldn't exactly barge into a sleeping girl's room himself. I heard them at the door and dove under my covers, arranging myself into the most convincingly sick sleeping position possible. The lock clicked open. Dark room, but there was clearly a lump on the bed. Zhou Jingjing switched on a flashlight, covered it to dim the beam, and confirmed. Yep, person present. She's here. Go tell everyone. I could hear the relief in her voice. She'd suspected Qianqian was behind this whole thing, and she knew that if I'd actually been caught outside at night, my reputation would have been shredded beyond repair. Jiang Sui sprinted off to call back the search party. And somewhere out there, Sun Qianqian was standing in the dark, realizing her perfect trap had caught absolutely nothing. So here's the thing about Qianqian, the girl does not know when to quit. While Zhou Jingjing and Jiang Sui were confirming I was safely in my bed, Qianqian was out there physically blocking the brigade leader and the villagers from coming back. Like, arms spread, full roadblock mode. Brigade leader, please, you have to go to that path. Yi Suiwan is there. I saw her with my own eyes. She's not in her room. I was watching. She never came back. Then she pulled out the big guns. I saw her walking with some thugs before dark. I called her name, but she ignored me. I was upset, so I left, but now I'm worried she's in danger. She even did this fake regretful face. Award-winning stuff, truly. Someone give this girl a mirror so she can practice, because the concerned friend act was cracking at the seams. Jiang Sui came running up and heard every word. I'm told he looked like he wanted to punch her. Only held back because she's a woman. Gentleman's restraint, barely. And Xiao Yuyan? Standing there quiet as a shadow, looking at Qianqian the way you'd look at someone who's already dead and just doesn't know it yet. He'd already connected the dots. The drugged food, the thugs. All of it traced straight back to her. In his mind, the investigation had already begun. Not a single one of them would get away.
His words, not mine.
Well, his thoughts. But I know this man. Then Jiang Sui dropped the bomb. Brigade leader, Comrade Yi is confirmed in her dormitory. Sorry for the trouble, everyone. He actually bowed to the crowd. In the dark. At nearly dawn.
Class act, that one.
Qianqian's face? Priceless.
No.
That's impossible. She can't be in her room. I didn't see wrong, girl. Read the room.
Please.
You are digging your own grave with a shovel made of your own stupidity. Mama Lin stepped in, and let me tell you, the woman did not come to play. Young lady, why does it sound like you don't want Comrade Yi to be safe? It's almost like you're hoping something happened to her. The villagers piled on. Even a dumb farmer like me can hear it. She's got it out for that. Girl, dragging us all out in the middle of the night for nothing. You're educated people. If one of you gets in trouble, it looks bad for all of you. Even I know that, and I dig dirt for a living. The men were annoyed but too polite to physically move her aside. If the village aunties had been there, Qianqian would have been yeeted into a ditch 5 minutes ago. She sputtered. I didn't mean, nobody was buying it. Not anymore. Jiang Sui walked up to Mama Lin respectfully. Dr. Lin, could you please check on Comrade Yi? I'm really worried about her. Now, beside him, Xiao Yuyan's internal alarm went off.
Who is this man?
Why is he so concerned about my wife? But he swallowed it because, honestly, he also wanted an excuse to come see me. Mom, let's go check on her, he said, cool as ice. Mama Lin, reading her son like a book. Sure. Let me see if her fever's gone down. If it's still high, that's serious. Full commitment to the performance. I just needed to be smart enough to play along. No pressure. The brigade leader sent all the villagers home. Work starts early, after all, and headed toward my room with Lin Lan, Xiao Yuyan, and Jiang Sui. Inside my room, Zhou Jingjing was with me. I'd woken up and was sitting in bed rubbing my temples like a person who definitely had a terrible cold and absolutely did not just return from a secret cave rendezvous. Comrade Zhou, is that you? Are you okay? Still have a fever? Zhou Jingjing kept things brief. She didn't know me well. Qianqian had made sure of that. For 2 months straight, that snake had basically quarantined me from all the other youth, controlling who I talked to, making sure I stayed isolated and dependent on her. Classic manipulation. Zhou Jingjing was smart enough not to badmouth Qianqian to my face either. In her mind, I might still be loyal to that witch, and she wasn't about to waste her energy on someone who couldn't see the obvious. She'd already gotten her entertainment watching Qianqian squirm tonight. Mission accomplished. And honestly, pass me absolutely. would have defended Qianqian. Old me walked around with my nose in the air, treated everyone like they were beneath me. All because Qianqian whispered poison in my ear. Those people are jealous of you. Don't bother with them. And I ate it up. When my life collapsed, people felt sorry for me, but nobody reached out, because who wants to comfort someone who spent months treating them like dirt? New me is going to be very different. Thank you, I said softly. What's all the noise outside? Let me go check. She opened the door just as everyone arrived. Without missing a beat, she explained, Comrade Yi is awake. She seems really sick. No wonder she couldn't hear the knocking. I had to shake her to wake her up. She lied for me.
Without being asked.
Without even knowing the full story. Zhou Jingjing, you beautiful human being, I owe you one. Jiang Sui asked the other youth to go back to sleep, and Song Kai, the dormitory leader who is definitely starting to suspect Qianqian, pointedly told everyone to rest, aiming his words directly at our resident schemer. Comrade Yi is in her room. Let's all sleep. We'll deal with everything tomorrow. Qianqian still tried to push past everyone to see my room herself. She literally could not accept it. But her neighborly Luo grabbed her arm. She's fine, let's go. I'm exhausted, and dragged her away. That's when I made my entrance. I threw on a jacket and shuffled to the doorway, looking appropriately pale and weak. I'm so sorry everyone was worried tonight. Let me treat you all to a meal tomorrow. Sick girl standing in the doorway, grateful and apologetic, lit by moonlight. And somewhere in the crowd, Qianqian watched me standing there, alive, safe, reputation intact, and I could practically hear her brain short-circuiting. How is she here? When Qianqian saw me standing in that doorway, alive, intact, only slightly wobbly, she almost collapsed. Li Luo had to catch her. The color drained from her face, like someone pulled a plug. But did she take the L and walk away quietly? Of course not. She charged straight at me screaming, Impossible. You were with those thugs.
I saw you.
Let me see your body. Show me the marks. And she actually lunged to rip my clothes off. In front of everyone.
Slap. Slap.
2 crisp ones across her face. My hand moved before my brain even gave permission. Honestly, it felt great. Sun Qianqian, I said, voice cold enough to freeze the air between us. Who gave you the nerve? She stared at me like I'd grown a second head. You actually hit me? Yeah, sweetie. I did. And I'd do it again. See, she was trying to expose marks on my body, proof that something happened to me. She knew that after what she'd arranged, there should be bruises, scratches, evidence. What she didn't know was that my only marks came from a very different, very consensual situation in a mountain cave, and I was not about to let her conduct a strip search in front of the whole village. Already hit you, I said, eyes like knives. Next time you try to slander me, it won't just be 2 slaps. I watched her physically shiver. Good. Old me was her little puppet, believed everything she said, followed her around like a lost duckling. This version of me? Completely unrecognizable to her, and that scared her more than the slaps did. But Qianqian's one consistent trait is her inability to take a hint. Her brain was spinning. Something definitely happened to Suiwan. If those guys did what I paid them to do, there must be marks on her skin. She bruises if you breathe on her too hard. So she charged at me again. I sidestepped, stuck my foot out. Down she went, face first into the dirt. Beautiful form. Perfect landing. 10 out of 10. Everyone saw that. I announced calmly. Self-defense. Then I dropped the real bomb. From this moment on, Sun Qianqian and I have a no relationship. I treated her like a sister. She clearly doesn't feel the same. I was blind before. If I've been rude or cold to any of you because of her influence, I'm sorry. Dead. Silence. Even Jiang Sui's jaw dropped. He looked like he wanted to check my forehead for fever. In his mind, me cutting off Qianqian was like the sun deciding to stop rising, unthinkable. But he also knew me well enough to know I'm the pettiest person alive when someone crosses me. He was already mentally lighting a candle for Qianqian's future. The other youth? They rallied around me immediately. Nobody blames you, Comrade Yi. We're all living together. Little friction is normal. Go rest. Let the doctor check on you. Take a few days off. Summer colds are the worst. Here's the thing. I'd been standoffish for 2 months, but I'd never actually been mean to anyone. A little arrogant? Sure, but not cruel. And the fact that I immediately offered to treat everyone to a meal for the trouble? That was new. The old youth who never shared anything suddenly offering to buy dinner? With meat? Whatever tiny grudge they had evaporated instantly. Meanwhile, Qian was still face down in the dirt, covered in mud, blood on her face. Song Kai quietly told Li Luo to pick her up and take her away. Nobody, and I mean nobody, suggested that Dr. Lin should check on her injuries. Not a shred of sympathy from anyone. Turns out when you spend months stealing, starting fights, trash-talking behind people's backs, and being generally awful, people enjoy watching you eat dirt. Zhou Jingjing's shoulders were literally shaking from trying not to laugh. Qian was dragged away, already plotting her next move. Tomorrow I'll call Mom, she was thinking. Because of course she can't handle anything alone. She always runs to Lu Suxia.
Call her.
Call whoever you want. It won't help. Mama Lin announced she was going inside to examine me, and I led her into my room. The second the door closed, I dropped the act. Thank you, Auntie. She looked at me with the warmest eyes. Silly girl. This whole mess is partly my son's fault. Don't worry. Tomorrow I'll send a matchmaker, then we'll set a date, and you two will be married. Just let your family know. She genuinely liked me. Apparently the village had been buzzing about the gorgeous, new sent-down youth, and now that girl was going to be her daughter-in-law. And considering her son's marriage had been her biggest headache, she was thrilled someone was finally going to tame him. Let me check your pulse. I let her. Couldn't hurt. She went quiet for a moment, concentrating, then relaxed. You need a few doses of herbal medicine to recover properly. Come to my house these next few days. I'll have it ready for you. That's too much trouble. Nonsense. We're about to be family. She patted my hand, told me to sleep in, and headed for the door. I walked her out. Outside, she immediately took charge. Her fever's down, but she needs medicine and rest. Brigade leader, give her a few days off. The brigade leader agreed instantly. He knew exactly who I was and who my family was. Orders from above said to look after me. Tonight's chaos had him stressed enough. As the group turned to leave, I stole one last glance at Xiao Yuyan. He met my eyes and gave me a small nod. That tiny gesture carried everything. I'm here. You're safe. See you tomorrow. Jiang Sui told me to sleep. I told him to buy meat and flour in the morning because we were making dumplings for everyone.
He didn't argue.
Good boy. Then it was just me and Zhou Jingjing. Thank you, Comrade Zhou. She looked at me, sizing up whether the new me was for real. Just call me Jingjing. I'm right next door. If you need anything, say so. She decided I was worth helping. Not because we were friends yet, but because I'd finally shown I had a functioning brain and wasn't Qian's puppet anymore. Then call me Suiwan. We smiled at each other and went to our rooms. One chaotic night, and here's my scoreboard. Married a military officer, discovered a magic farm inside my necklace, broke Qian's trap, slapped her twice, tripped her once, gained a future mother-in-law who adores me, made friends with the coolest girl in the dormitory, and got several days off work. Back in my room, I looked down at my hands. Ow. Turns out slapping someone twice really hurts the slapper too. Note to self. Next time, bring a tool. A shoe, maybe. A brick. Something with padding on my end. I was about to crawl into bed when, tap tap tap, something at my window. My room is the last one on the end of the row. Window facing the outer edge. Nobody has ever knocked on this window before. Which means...
Ayan, mem.
It's me. I ripped that window latch open so fast I nearly broke it. What are you doing back? I sounded way too happy. Zero chill. Don't care. Give me your hand. His voice was low and deliberate, and my stomach did a backflip. But then I understood. He came back because he saw me slap Qian. He knew my hands would hurt. This man witnessed me delivering justice from a distance and then circled back in the dead of night to bring me medicine for my slapping hand. I'm not crying. I'm not. It hurts, I whispered, sticking my hand through the window. And yeah, my voice cracked. Because when you're tough all night, and then someone shows up being impossibly gentle, all the toughness just
dissolves.
He held my hand like it was made of glass and started rubbing ointment on it. So carefully, so tenderly, completely different from how he'd been with me in the cave, where he was all. I shook my head violently.
Nope.
Not going there. Brain, stop. I have been reborn for less than 12 hours, and I'm already corrupted. Does it hurt? No, it's tingly and cool. Feels way better already. When he finished, he blew softly on my palm. Then, completely straight-faced, he handed me the medicine jar and said, "For the other places, apply it yourself." Okay. I stared at him.
Sir.
How do you say that with a perfectly serious expression? And why did I immediately know which other places he meant? Because yes, Qian was right about one thing, my body was definitely covered in evidence. I mark up if someone looks at me too hard. After what happened in that cave, I probably looked like abstract art. Okay, sure, go rest now, I stammered, mentally filing this under things I will deal with later or never. I'm calling the army first thing tomorrow to file the marriage report. Wait for me. What about your family? I can handle my family, I said confidently. My dad and 2 brothers? All I need is 1 pout, and those 3 men fold like origami. This life, though, I won't let them down. No trouble.
No heartbreak.
Only good things. He still didn't leave. Just stood there outside my window. I got it. Come closer. He obeyed immediately.
Leaned in.
My heart was hammering so loud, I was sure the entire village could hear it. I caught a whiff of his scent and, focus, Suiwan, focus, pressed my lips quickly to his. Good night. Slam went the window. I pressed both hands against my pounding chest like I was trying to keep my heart from escaping. From outside, a low chuckle. Good night. He left. I collapsed onto my bed, absolutely wrecked. I was so tired. That cave adventure had been athletic, and he'd been holding back while I was drugged. If he ever goes full power when I'm fully conscious, nope.
Not thinking about it.
My lower back is already filing a formal complaint with HR. That was my last thought before I passed out cold. I woke up to sunshine roasting my behind.
8 Uhr morgens.
I'd slept like the dead, fitting, since I technically was dead recently. Every muscle ached. My body felt like it had been through a washing machine. Master.
It's me, Xiaobao.
Come find me. Oh, right. The squeaky voice from the magic dimension inside my necklace. I'd almost convinced myself that was a dream. How do I get to you? Last time required blood. I was not making that a regular thing. Just think, enter the space in your mind, silly master. We're bonded now. Then it giggled at me. This invisible chubby baby spirit called me stupid and laughed. I will remember this, Xiaobao. I hold grudges. But fine, I tried it, and whoosh, I was in.
Time to actually look around this place.
I was standing in front of a thatched cottage. To the left, a small kitchen. To the right, a small outhouse. Classic countryside layout. The kitchen? Fully stocked with pots, pans, bowls, utensils, every seasoning you could want. 0 actual food, though. Thanks, magical space. Very helpful. Like giving someone a Ferrari with no gas. The outhouse, though, It was the old squatting kind, but there was a natural stream running underneath, constantly flushing everything away. This was basically a modern toilet disguised as a rustic squat pit. I am embarrassed to report that the toilet was my favorite discovery. A self-flushing outhouse in 1970? That's not a convenience. That's a miracle. I know it's weird. I judged myself too. Moving on. Past the cottage, about 10 meters ahead, there was a little stream with a wooden bridge crossing over to a huge field of rich black soil. Beyond the field's edge, everything was foggy and mysterious. Inside the main cottage, a square table, 2 benches, a bare bed, a cabinet, and 3 big clay jars against the wall. Cozy in a you own literally nothing kind of way.
Xiaobao.
You said this is a farm space. Please don't tell me I have to do farming. I can't farm. In over a month of countryside life, my one job has been cutting pig grass. 2 measly work points a day. My family sends me money from every direction. Mom threw contacts in the south, Dad, and my brothers loaded me up before I left. I am not a manual labor person. Master is so smart. You don't have to farm by hand. You can control everything with your mind. And the black soil makes all seeds grow super fast, ignoring normal growing seasons. Okay, not bad. However, if Master farms with her own hands, she earns bonus reward points. Oh no. When you collect 100 bonus points, you unlock the Time Mall. It has everything from across all eras. Modern supplies, snacks, clothes. Even sanitary pads. I froze. Sanitary pads. In 1970. Listen, you have no idea what women use in this era. I won't describe it. Just know that the promise of modern sanitary products alone was enough to make me want to plow an entire field with my bare hands right now. And that's not even counting everything else. During my ghost years following Xiao Yuyan, I watched the future unfold. Supermarkets overflowing with food, gadgets, clothes, things I desperately wanted to taste and touch, but could only stare at. Now, I could actually have all of it. Decision made. Instantly.
No debate.
I will farm with my own two delicate hands. I will dig, plant, water, and harvest until that time mall opens. Sanitary pads are waiting for me on the other side, and I will not let them down. How do I start? I don't have any seeds. I marched over to the 3 big jars in the cottage to see what I was working with. Master. Inside those jars are rice, wheat, and peanut seeds. Plant 100 acres of these 3 crops by hand, earn 100 reward points, and unlock the Time Mall. You plant it, you harvest it. Xiaobao was practically vibrating with excitement. Also, check the cabinet. Top drawer has farm tools and processing machines. Hold up. I peered into the jars, absolutely packed with grain. Then I pulled open the top drawer and found tiny little farm tools, like finger-sized. Adorable miniature plows and threshers lined up like a toy store display. If I take these out, they grow to full size. I didn't believe it, but I had to ask. Wow. Master is such a genius. Was that sarcasm? From a baby spirit? I'm choosing to ignore it. Everything in the drawers can be resized with your mind. And each jar holds up to 1 million tons of grain. After harvest, just pour it in, it auto-sorts, auto-preserves, never goes bad. Take out whatever you need with a thought. We're a real farm space. Xiaobao was so proud of itself. Meanwhile, I was speed opening every drawer like a kid on Christmas morning. Drawer 1. Farm tools.
Has seen it.
Drawer 2. Seeds for soybeans, corn, cotton, and more. Drawer 3. Fruit and vegetable seeds. Drawer 4. Medicinal herb seeds. Drawer 5. I opened it and found a whole pasture. Pigs, cows, sheep, chickens, ducks, geese, just vibing in there. Drawer 6. Split into freshwater and saltwater fish ponds. Drawer 7. An entire library. Drawer 8. Empty. Mysterious. Probably locked behind some quest I haven't triggered yet. I stood there with my mouth hanging open. This was my rebirth cheat code. An entire agricultural empire crammed into a piece of furniture. Only the first 3 drawers were usable right now, the rest were look but don't touch. Probably needed more unlocking. But honestly, rice, wheat, peanuts, vegetables, and fruit seeds were more than enough to start with. Xiaobao. I'm going farming. I was fired up. Master. Your body is way too weak right now. You can't farm like this. How about you bathe in the spirit spring first? Inside the space, it cleanses your body at a deep level, muscles, bones, the works. Outside the space, it just boosts general health. Either way, it's incredible stuff. Oh.
Right.
My entire body felt like it had been hit by a truck, because a certain military officer had absolutely wrecked me last night. That man is a menace. Okay, let me grab clothes and a towel from outside. I blinked out of the space, grabbed my supplies, and noticed something wild. My watch said only 5 minutes had passed in the real world. I'd spent way longer than that inside. Back in the space, standing by the stream, I had to ask. Xiaobao, 5 minutes outside equals how long in here? Master noticed. 5 minutes outside equals 1 hour inside. Cool, right? I could practically see Xiaobao wagging an imaginary tail. Very cool. Now I'm bathing. And peeking. By then, a little breeze, and it was gone. I slid into the stream, and, oh sweet heavens. Every sore muscle, every ache, every bruise just started melting away. I let out the most satisfied sigh of my entire life. Then I looked down at my skin. A layer of black, oily, absolutely revolting sludge was seeping out of my pores. I almost threw up. Thank God I hadn't eaten breakfast yet, or it would have been a double disaster. I held my breath and scrubbed like my life depended on it. The black gunk washed downstream, and I could finally breathe again. After several rounds of aggressive scrubbing, my skin was incredible. Porcelain smooth. Baby soft. Even the little childhood scars I'd had for years?
Gone.
I wished I had a mirror because my face had been soaking too, and I was dying to see the results. Then a horrifying thought hit me. I drink from this stream, right? Which means I just drank my own bath water, mixed with that black sludge that came out of my body. I shuddered so hard I made ripples. The drinking water comes through a mental command. It's pure spirit spring water, completely separate from the bath stream. It's flowing water, don't worry. You won't drink your own gunk. Can you read my mind? And no, I'm the space spirit. I can't peek at your thoughts. I'm just really smart. I guessed. Sure you did. But Xiaobao meant no harm, so I let it slide.
For now.
I went to the kitchen, grabbed a bowl, mentally summoned some spring water, and took a sip. Sweet, cool, refreshing, like liquid vitality pouring through every cell. I set the bowl down feeling like I could punch a mountain. All right, let's go farm. Why? Xiaobao loves when master farms. What it didn't tell me. Every seed I plant feeds it energy. More planting equals stronger Xiaobao equals eventually getting a physical body. This little fluffball was basically using me as its personal farmer. Exploitative? Maybe. Do I care? Not really. I grabbed the rice seeds first. Priority number 1. I wanted to eat big bowls of white rice. I missed rice so much it haunted my dreams. Normal rice farming requires sprouting seedlings, transplanting, weeks of careful tending, but this was magic cheat code soil. I just threw the seeds in, and the space handled the rest. 1 acre of rice paddies took me 2 hours, and I wasn't even tired. Before the spirit bath, walking for 30 minutes would have had me stopping to rest 5 times.
Now?
I was basically a farming machine. Xiaobao, this spirit spring water is the real MVP. Well, obviously. But the real treasure is Xiaobao. Don't get your priorities mixed up. Master, this baby spirit just used an idiom on me. It's more educated than half the people I grew up with. I need to head back. Lots to do today. I'll come far more later. And I left.
Just like that.
Grabbed my stuff and poofed out without a backward glance. Master has player girl energy. Xiaobao, alone in the space, feeling used and abandoned. Like a loyal pet watching its owner leave for work. Sorry, little buddy. Mama's got a revenge plot to run, a wedding to plan, and a scheming foster sister to destroy. The rice can wait 20 minutes. First things first, after leaving the space, I hung up my laundry and grabbed my little mirror.
Oh, my
God. The spirit bath had turned me into a whole different person. My skin was literally glowing, smooth as jade, soft as a baby's, with this subtle luminous sheen. Even my hair looked like silk commercial material. Every childhood scar vanished. I was sitting there falling in love with my own face when knock knock.
Komradeye?
Are you awake? I'm Xiao Nuanyuan. My heart squeezed. Xiao Yuyan's little sister. 12 years old right now, with a face that was already showing how beautiful she'd grow up to be.
Except,
in my last life, she never got the chance. 3 years from now, her body was found in the river outside the village. Unrecognizable by the time they pulled her out. The killer turned out to be an old widower in the village, a serial predator with multiple victims. He got executed eventually, but Nuanyuan was gone forever. And it was my fault. My attack on Xiao Yuyan turned his family into the village punching bag. A military officer convicted of assault? The family's reputation was destroyed overnight. Every jealous neighbor who'd been waiting for a chance to kick them while they were down got their moment. Someone even reported Mama Lin's traditional medicine as feudal superstition and had her thrown into a labor camp. Every single member of the Xiao family, Lin Lan, Nuanyuan, the twins Chu Fan and Jin Zhou, even the married older sister He He, all of them died horrible, preventable deaths over those years. Xiao Yuyan received one devastating notification after another, nearly broke, but somehow held on long enough to find every person responsible and make them pay. Then he left Xiangyang village forever and never looked back.
Yeah.
Past me basically destroyed an entire family because I was too arrogant to let a country soldier be associated with me. I genuinely deserve to die. But this time, none of that is happening. Not a single one of them. I opened the door. There stood a thin, slightly yellowish little face with sweet features trying very hard to look brave. Nuanyuan, your brother sent you? Just call me Big Sister Yi, and soon you'll be calling me sister-in-law. I gave her my warmest, most dazzling smile. First impressions with your future little sister-in-law? Critical. She's family now, and I'm going to protect this kid with everything I've got. That old monster in the village is getting dealt with long before he ever gets near her. She blinked at me like she'd stared directly into the sun. And Mom sent me. She said Auntie Hongxia, the brigade leader's wife, will come to arrange the marriage proposal later today, around when people finish work. Mom wanted you to know. Wait. The custom here is that matchmaking visits happen in the morning. So sending someone at the end of the workday means Xiao Yuyan didn't want to waste a single day. The man probably filed that army marriage report before breakfast. My mood skyrocketed.
Got it.
I'll be right here waiting. Nuanyuan scurried off like a happy little mouse, and I watched her go, eyes darkening with resolve. Everything that happened before hasn't happened yet. Everything can still change.
Right.
I had morning business too. Feeding the youth dormitory. I grabbed my bag of flour, locked up, and headed to the communal kitchen. In this era, the ultimate thank you is feeding people meat. Jiang Sui was definitely already back with the pork. That boy has never dropped the ball on an assignment in his entire life. Reliable since birth. At the kitchen, I found a girl washing celery.
Comrade.
Are you feeling better? Comrade Jiang left some porridge on the stove just for you. Miao Yan. I took a guess. I might have been an antisocial snob for 2 months, but I still had ears. I'd picked up names just from overhearing conversations. Her face lit up. She hadn't expected me to know who she was. She came back carrying a huge bowl of red sugar egg congee made with white rice. Jiang Sui, you absolute angel. This was luxury food in 1970. Real rice, eggs, and brown sugar? That's basically a 5-star hotel breakfast. I'm off work today too, so Comrade Jiang asked me to remind you to eat and help prep the dumplings. Thank you. Here's my flour, use all of it. Let's make tons of dumplings. Everyone eats until they're stuffed. Except Qian Qian. She gets nothing. Old me always ate separately with just Qian Qian, excluding everyone else including Jiang Sui. What a fool. From now on, I'm eating with the group. As for Qian Qian, not only was I cutting off her food supply, I was getting back every single thing she'd borrowed from me over the years. And her dear mother Lu Suxia was next on the list. Miao Yan took my flour with a smile. Go eat your porridge. I'll handle this. Some others are coming back early to help wrap dumplings too. Aren't you feeling sick too? Let me help. She turned bright red. It's the first day of, but it's fine. Cooking is way easier than farm work. I understood immediately. Period cramps. In 1970, with no painkillers and probably using rags. My heart hurt for her. Go get your bowl, huh? Now Miao Yan, my face went stern and my voice dropped a register. She practically sprinted to the kitchen in fright. Even though she'd noticed I was different from before, she still didn't dare argue with me. Apparently, I radiate intimidation just by standing still.
Good to know.
She came back with her bowl and watched in shock as I poured half my precious red sugar egg congee into it. Her eyes went red instantly. This girl was the eldest kid in her family, always giving, never receiving. Every sacrifice fell on her shoulders, Every good thing went to her younger siblings. Being sent to the countryside? Obviously that was her job too. Nobody had ever voluntarily shared something precious with her. And here I was, handing over half a bowl of rice porridge with eggs and brown sugar, ingredients that cost real money. Eat up. The brown sugar will help with the cramps. Then we work. She bit her lip, nodded, and we sat down together. This was the new me. Not the cold, nose-in-the-air princess who only cared about herself and her snake of a sister. This me notices people. This me shares. This me builds real friendships. Because I'm going to need allies, and more importantly, these are good people who deserve better than being ignored. Here's a secret about me that literally nobody knows. I can do everything. Cook, clean, sew, chop wood, you name it. Everyone thinks I'm a pampered princess who can't boil water, and that's fine. I chose not to do things. But my mom taught me something before she left. You don't have to do it, but you must know how. Little 7-year-old me didn't understand why, but I worship my mom, so I secretly learned everything I could. If someone was good at something, I watched and copied. Cooking, housework, practical skills, all filed away in my brain while everyone called me the spoiled brat of the military compound and the useless little princess who only knows how to cause trouble. Surprise, everyone. The princess has skills. Miao Yan mumbled a quiet, "Thank you," over her porridge, head down, clearly fighting some emotions. I didn't push. Whatever she was remembering, it would pass. Sometimes people don't need words, they just need someone to sit with them while they eat. She grabbed both our bowls to wash before I could even stand up. "I'll do it, Comrade Yi. Just call me Suiwan, okay?" Suiwan. What I didn't know then was that half a bowl of porridge would eventually earn me one of the most powerful business partners of my life. Years from now, when Miao Yan breaks free from her awful family and builds her own fortune, the thing she'll miss most? This exact bowl of porridge, shared with me on a random morning in 1970. Life is weird like that. She looked at me and clearly decided I was too delicate for heavy labor. "Suiwan, can you wash vegetables? I'll go chop the meat filling." Translation: You look like you'd snap in half swinging a cleaver, so let me handle the hard part, sweet girl. But she had no idea what the spirit spring had done to me. My body was completely rebuilt. I was genuinely curious to test my limits. Could I chop a tree? Carry a boulder? Arm wrestle a cow? The possibilities were exciting. But I let her have the meat chopping. Because seasoning the filling? That had to be me. I had a secret weapon. My space had every spice and seasoning known to mankind. I needed to test if the supply was unlimited. Plus, I was going to make these the best dumplings anyone in this village had ever tasted.
Deal.
I'll wash veggies, you chop meat, I season. Let's go. Meanwhile, at the Xiao family house, a small hurricane named Nuanyuan burst through the door. "Emma? Is it true? Is big sister Yi going to be my sister-in-law? She's so pretty." Mama Lin smiled at her breathless daughter. "Mission accomplished. Of course it's true. Your brother ran to the commune office before dawn to make the phone call." Before dawn. This man filed his military marriage report before the sun came up. He didn't even eat breakfast first. Priorities, clear. "Your sister-in-law is from the city," Mama Lin added. "So when she joins our family, you help her out, okay?" Obviously. She's gorgeous. She's basically a goddess. I'll worship her. If she picked Big Brother, that's his good luck, and while he's away, I'll take care of her. This 12-year-old was ready to lay down her life for me, and we'd spoken exactly once. I already love this kid.
Good.
Now go brew her medicine. I've already prepared the herbs. I'll make lunch. She's eating here with us today. Mama Lin had fully adopted me as her daughter-in-law. No ceremony needed. In her mind, it was done the moment her son came home at midnight smelling like a woman's perfume and announced he was getting married. Just then, the front door swung open. "Big brother, you're back." Xiao Yuan walked in carrying a loaded basket straight to the kitchen. The man had been out since before sunrise, making his marriage phone call, then apparently shopping for supplies. "Did you go to the youth dormitory?" he asked Nuanyuan.
Yes.
"And sister-in-law is so beautiful." I'd seen her from far away before, but up close, even more stunning. Her skin is so white and soft and she could have gone on for an hour. Xiao Yuyan's face flickered with a smile, so brief you'd miss it if you blinked.
But I know what that smile meant. Yeah, she's mine.
Go to your tasks, he said calmly, pretending he wasn't internally glowing. Then he turned to his mom. These supplies are for you. Use them. Don't hoard them because you think they're too good, because that's who this man is. Runs to file marriage paperwork at dawn, buys groceries for his mom on the way home, makes sure his little sister delivers messages to his future wife, and still has time to worry that his mother isn't eating well enough. And somewhere across the village, I was washing celery, secretly testing whether my magically enhanced body could crush a vegetable with one hand. It could, and sneaking interdimensional spices into dumpling filling. What a morning! Meanwhile, at the Xiao household, a conversation was happening that would have made me cry if I'd heard it. See, Xiao Yuyan had been sending his entire military salary home for 10 years. Every single paycheck straight to his mom. He only kept his bonus money. You'd think the family would be comfortable, right?
Wrong.
3 younger siblings all in school, and only Mama Lin earning work points. Even though she was the village doctor, food was always tight. They had to buy extra grain from the brigade every year. Mama Lin was the queen of penny pinching. Her philosophy: nobody starves, nobody complains, nobody gets luxuries, like proper nutrition. She was a doctor who couldn't afford to follow her own medical advice. That's the kind of era this was. So every time Xiao Yuyan came home, he had to remind her, Mom, please actually eat the food. I know. Don't worry. Once your wife moves in, I'll feed her well. Then she pulled him aside to talk business. The matchmaker's coming at noon. Day after tomorrow is an auspicious date for the engagement. Can you get everything ready in time? She marched to her room and pulled a thin metal box from under the bedboards. This savings book has every paycheck you've sent home over 10 years. Total, 3,762 yuan. Not a single cent touched. I need to pause here and explain. 3,762 yuan in 1970 is a fortune. Most people earned maybe 30 to 40 yuan a month. This woman raised 4 children on her dead husband's military pension, her own work points, and money from selling herbal medicine, and never once dipped into her son's savings. Take out 1,000. We'll give your bride 999 yuan as the bride price. 999, forever and ever, in Chinese numerology. Plus the 3 rounds and 1 ring. That's a bicycle, sewing machine, watch, and radio, the ultimate 1970s wedding flex. Get the ration tickets ready, give her everything along with the cash. You're taking her with you when you return to the army, right? Set up your new home together. A young couple shouldn't be separated too long. That girl looks like someone who'll take good care of you, and if she's by your side, I won't worry. Xiao Yuyan stared at the savings book with his jaw tight. 10 years of his salary, untouched. His mother had been surviving on scraps, so she wouldn't spend a cent of what her eldest son earned. He was the kind of man who became the family pillar after his father died. Knowing his mom refused to use his money, it hit different. But he also knew her stubbornness. Refusing the savings book was not an option.
So he negotiated.
Mom, the bride price comes from this account. Everything else for our new home, I'll cover myself. My bonuses over the years were even higher than my salary, and I never sent those home.
Keep the rest.
Spend it. She started to argue, so he played dirty. Unless you're planning to kick me and Suiwan out of the family, don't you dare. I already prepared your wedding room. Got her. The Xiao family house was actually quite nice, a proper brick and tile compound they'd bought from a former landlord years ago. Mama Lin had already kicked the twin brothers out of the west bedroom into a side room, converted their old space into a newlywed suite, and had it all cleaned up and ready. The room was big enough to partition into smaller sections later. This woman had been prepared. She probably started redecorating the moment her son said, I'm getting married. It's all thanks to Dad, Xiao Yuyan said quietly, his mood dipping at the mention of his late father. Anyway, bride price from the savings. You keep the rest. The 3 younger ones are still growing and need proper food. And Suiwan will be living here for 2 or 3 months before she can join me, so please take care of her. He hadn't told them yet about his transfer to the new corps. That was a conversation for later.
Fine.
But you tell your wife about our financial arrangement. No secrets between husband and wife. No misunderstandings. Classic Mama Lin. She was already planning to spend most of the leftover money on me anyway. This woman's logic was ironclad. She wouldn't touch her son's hard-earned salary as long as she had any other option. That was money he'd earned risking his life. She was his mother. Raising children was her job, not his. And honestly, she was proud. All her kids were in school. Nobody went hungry. By 1970 village standards, they were doing great. I'll tell her everything, Mom. After the engagement, once the marriage report comes through, I'll take Suiwan to the county town. We'll buy wedding supplies and whatever she likes. Good. You've always had a plan. I trust you. She practically bounced out to start cooking. The woman was giddy about getting a daughter-in-law. Years of worrying about her eldest son's marriage? Over.
Done.
Problem solved by a drugged girl in a cave. Life works in mysterious ways. As for Xiao Yuyan, yeah, he was eager to see me again. But he'd also been busy that morning. Besides making the marriage phone call at the crack of dawn, he'd tracked down those thugs. Turns out they were small-time punks from town, plus one local from our own village. Hired muscle, paid by, drumroll, Sun Qianqian. He'd already gotten signed confessions from all of them. Evidence. Secured. Whatever I wanted to do with Qianqian, he'd support. But regardless of my decision, those men were getting shipped to a labor farm.
Non negotiable.
And Qianqian herself? He wasn't sure what punishment fit, since he didn't fully understand our history yet. He needed to talk to me first. Back at the youth dormitory kitchen, I sneezed mid-stride. Suiwan, are you okay? Maybe you should rest. I'm fine. Someone was definitely thinking about me. And if it was who I thought it was, well. Hey Miao Yen, can you go knead the dough? I'll handle the seasoning. I needed her out of the kitchen. Because how exactly was I going to explain pulling premium soy sauce, sesame oil, 5-spice powder, and white pepper out of thin air? Oh, these? They fell from the sky into my pocket. Crazy, right? Sure. The chopped celery and ginger scallion water are ready for you. She grabbed the dough basin and set up at the outdoor dining table.
Perfect. Kiken, mine.
Time to make some interdimensionally seasoned dumplings that would blow every single mind in this youth dormitory. Let me tell you about my secret weapon in the kitchen. Grandma Yu. Back at the military compound, she was the woman who looked after me. Her ancestors literally cooked for emperors in the imperial kitchen. She taught me everything. How to make meat taste incredible, how to pickle vegetables, how to season dumpling filling, how to work dough. I absorbed it all like a sponge, and then never used any of it because past me was too busy being a useless princess. Well, Reborn me is putting those skills to work. And during my ghost years following Xiao Yuyan, I'd also hovered around his housekeeper's kitchen learning even more tricks. That lady could cook Western food too. Someday I'm going to make all of it for Xiao Yuyan with my own hands. But first, dumpling filling. I mentally checked my space kitchen inventory, pulled out salt, soy sauce, Sichuan pepper powder, 5-spice, MSG, oyster sauce, and cooking oil, all teleported directly into the meat bowl through sheer willpower. Added the ginger scallion water, tossed in the chopped celery, mixed it all together, and bam. The most heavenly pork celery filling this decade has ever seen. Then I checked the spice levels in my space kitchen, and wait, they went down. Whatever I used didn't refill. Xiaobao? These seasonings aren't unlimited. Nope. Those are your starter pack freebies. Not space products. Can't regenerate. But there's enough for 2 or 3 months. If you want unlimited supplies, just open the Time Mall. It has everything. And I mean everything. I stood there in silence, realizing I'd been played by a magical baby spirit. This little con artist gave me a free sample of modern seasonings, let me get addicted to cooking with them, and now the only way to keep my supply going is to farm 100 acres by hand to unlock them all. This is literally a mobile game monetization strategy. In my necklace.
Fine.
I'll do it. I'll farm my little heart out tonight. Happy? Oh, by the way, if you cook with spirit spring water, the food tastes even better and gives health benefits. Okay, bye. And Xiaobao just disconnected. Like hanging up a phone. The little schemer didn't want to push me too far. It was probably in there rubbing its invisible hands together thinking, she already planted 1 acre. Only 99 to go. Hee hee. I decided to save the spirit spring water cooking trick for when I'm with the Shao family. Using it at the youth dormitory would raise too many questions. Besides, today's dumplings were already going to blow minds without magic water. I carried the giant basin of filling outside. Done. Miao Yan's jaw dropped. Already? My dough needs 10 more minutes to rest. This smells incredible, Suiwan. I can't even imagine how good these will taste cooked. She literally swallowed her drool.
Nos jam.
I respect that. Let's give every girl 30 dumplings, and every guy 40. That enough? Our youth dormitory was small, 6 girls, 5 guys. Everyone got their own room, though the rooms were tiny. Future arrivals would be stuck in shared bunks. Lucky us coming early. Miaoyan nodded, so hard I thought her head would fly off. That's enough for lunch and dinner. 30 dumplings until full? This would be her first time ever. Growing up, her family gave each kid 4 or 5 dumplings at Chinese New Year.
4 or 5.
My heart broke a little. Any extras? I'll wrap them and put them in your room, she offered. I almost said no, then remembered. Xiao Yuyan. I should make him dumplings. With my hands. The man filed a marriage report before sunrise. He deserves hand-wrapped dumplings from his future wife. Actually, yes please. I'll go put something away and come back to wrap with everyone. I dashed to my room, shoved the tray of my personally wrapped dumplings into the space. Instant freezer, zero spoilage even in summer heat, and was ready to head back when, over at the Shao house, Yuan watched the fire. The chicken will be ready by the time I'm back. Your brother and I are going to the youth dormitory. Got it, Mom. Yuan wanted to come so badly, but someone had to cook lunch for her future sister-in-law. Sacrifice accepted. Mama Lin and Xiao Yuyan headed out and ran into Auntie Hongxia, the brigade leader's wife and today's matchmaker. Already on her way, wearing fresh clothes for the occasion. Am I late? I went home to change. Yuyan, that girl is beautiful. You two are a perfect match. She'd gotten the full download from her husband about last night's drama and was furious she'd missed it. If she'd been there, she would have personally slapped Qian into next week. The nerve of that girl. And she's supposed to be educated. Thank you, Annie, Xiao Yuyan said, and, miracle of miracles, actually showed facial expressions. Plural. More than one. His face usually had the emotional range of a brick wall, so this was basically him doing a happy dance. I'll definitely seal this deal. Just save me a seat at the wedding banquet. Everyone knew this was basically a formality. Both sides already agreed. The matchmaker was just making it official. They arrived at the youth dormitory right as we finished wrapping the last dumpling. I was carrying a tray to my room when I heard, Suiwan, the brigade leader's wife, is here. Dr. Lin, too. And there's a man, the military officer from last night. They're asking for you. Miao Yan came running over, slightly out of breath. Coming. I ducked inside, checked my mirror. Glowing skin, silky hair, looking absolutely devastating if I do say so myself. Took a deep breath and walked to the front yard. My heart was pounding, like actual drums. I was nervous. And okay, fine, blushing.
Me?
The reborn revenge queen who slapped a girl and tripped her in the same night. Blushing. I took a deep breath and walked out. And there he was. In daylight. Sweet heavens. Last night was moonlight and chaos. But daytime Xiao Yuyan? Sun-kissed skin, sharp jawline, cheekbones that could cut glass, those piercing phoenix eyes that ran cold and intense. And that body, tall, broad, radiating pure masculine energy. Looking at him too long was genuinely hazardous to my composure. I flashed back to what that body felt like under my hands, and focus, Suiwan, focus, there are people here. My brain was not cooperating. Comrade Yi. Auntie Hongxia's cheerful voice snapped me back to reality. Hello, Auntie Hongxia. Hello, Dr. Lin. As for Xiao Yuyan, I gave him a tiny nod. That's it.
Cool. Casual.
Definitely not thinking about his abs. Let the matchmaking begin. Auntie Hongxia took one look at me and practically melted. Oh my, this girl is gorgeous. Mama Lin asked if I was feeling better. I nodded sweetly. Perfect daughter-in-law mode activated. Then Auntie Hongxia cleared her throat, straightened up, and delivered her line with full ceremonial energy. Comrade Yi, I'm here to ask, would you be willing to be matched with Yuyan? You could have heard a pin drop. Every single person in that courtyard froze. Eyes the size of dinner plates. Jaws on the floor. The youth who'd just arrived back from work literally stopped mid-step in the doorway. Jiang Sui's eyebrows nearly merged with his hairline. His brain was doing visible math. When did these two even meet? Last night? They met last night, and there's already a matchmaker? He knew me well enough to know that if I didn't want this, I would have physically launched these people out of the compound. But instead I was looking at Xiao Yuyan with soft eyes. Jiang Sui looked like he needed to sit down. Then, of course, a nasty little laugh shattered the moment. Brigade leader's wife, are you joking? Sun Qianqian. Nose in the air. Full disdain mode. Do you even know what kind of family Suiwan comes from? You think she'd accept him? Some countryside soldier who clawed his way up? He can't even compare to Jiang Sui, let alone the sons of political families in the capital. The city secretary's son is interested in Suiwan, you know. She was so busy running her mouth and looking smug that she completely failed to notice me picking up someone's canvas army shoe that was drying on the line. I walked right up beside her.
Whap, 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 whap.
4 rubber-soled slaps across her face. The last one knocked her flat on the ground. Yi Suiwan. You hit me again, you little. Before she could finish that sentence, I shoved the shoe sole directly into her open mouth. I heard a tooth crack. Maybe 2. My spirit spring body was no joke. I was hitting way harder than yesterday. I'll kill you, she screamed, scrambling to get up like a rabid animal. Li Luo and Qin Fong grabbed her and held her down. Not because they liked her, just because they could see she'd get absolutely demolished if she actually reached me, and they didn't want me catching trouble for it. I gave Qianqian one last look, the kind you'd give a cockroach you're deciding whether to step on, then turned back to Auntie Hongxia and switched to my sweetest, most adorable smile. The mood whiplash nearly gave everyone present emotional injuries. Auntie, I accept. Suiwan. Jiang Sui stepped forward, protective mode on. Does Uncle you know about this? Fair question. Marriage was supposed to have parental approval, but I'd already made up my mind. I'll call my dad this afternoon. Translation, it's already decided. Dad will agree, because Dad always agrees with me. Jiang Sui paused, then sized up Xiao Yuyan properly for the first time.
Tall.
Handsome.
Strong.
Capable. Yeah, looks wise, he absolutely matched me. And the Yi family didn't need strategic marriages for power. They were already powerful. If I was happy, that was enough. He nodded and stepped back. I tilted my head at Xiao Yuyan with a playful smile. Xiao Yuyan, will you be good to me? I will. I'll prove it with my actions. 0 hesitation. Instant answer. Rock solid. My heart went whoosh. Auntie Hongxia, one more time for the record. I accept. Thank you. Auntie Lin, we're family now. Wonderful. Tan, you treat this girl right. Auntie Hongxia was beaming so hard her face might split. This family is blessed. She elbowed Mama Lin. She really is a good one. Mama Lin agreed, already glowing. Then Jiang Sui walked up to Xiao Yuyan with his serious face on.
Xiao Yuyan.
Suiwan is very particular. She needs to be pampered. You better take care of her properly. I will. Xiao Yuyan didn't even know yet that Jiang Sui was my childhood friend, not a rival. But he could tell the guy genuinely cared about me, so he gave him a sincere answer. Good boys, both of them. Everyone stay for lunch. We have tons of dumplings. No. I need to get you home for your medicine. Mama Lin waved me off. And I'll wait for the wedding banquet. Auntie Hongxia laughed. Okay, let me just... I ran to the kitchen. Miao Yen, are the dumplings ready? Just finished. Hot out of the pot. I packed a generous container in a basket so it wouldn't burn anyone's hands and brought it to Auntie Hongxia. Please take these home. I'll come thank you properly later. Oh, I couldn't possibly. She was already staring at the dumplings like they were made of gold. Which, in 1970 terms, they basically were. Take them, Auntie. We need to go. My medicine's getting cold. She stopped arguing. Smart woman. I turned to the group. Jiang Sui, Miao Yen, you're in charge of distributing. 40 per guy, 30 per girl. There's plenty.
Got it.
Now go take your medicine. Jiang Sui, obedient as always. Then I added, loudly enough for everyone to hear, Miao Yen, she doesn't get any. Everyone knew exactly who she was. And nobody objected. Not one person said, oh, that's harsh. After last night's stunt and today's performance, Qian had burned through every last drop of goodwill. Plus, one fewer person eating meant one extra dumpling for everyone else. In 1970, that math solved itself. Oh, whose shoe did I use? A male youth stepped forward.
Mine.
Don't worry about it. He'd already guessed I was going to apologize and replace the words for me.
Good man.
Your shoe served the nation today. Thank you. And off I went with Mama Lin, leaving behind a buzzing, excited youth dormitory that smelled like heaven. Li Luo and Qin Fong released Qian the second I was gone. She stood there, face swollen, tooth missing, covered in dirt, watching everyone line up happily for MY dumplings while she got nothing. She slumped back to her room, probably to cry and plot and call her mother. Go ahead, Qian. Call mommy. Tell her everything. Tell her your perfect plan failed. Your target is engaged to a military officer, and your face looks like it lost a fight with a shoe. Because that's exactly what happened. After Auntie Hongxia split off with her precious basket of dumplings, it was just me, Mama Lin, and Xiao Yuyan walking through the village. And I was suddenly very self-conscious. Did I ruin my image? I'd just beaten a girl with a SHOE in front of my future mother-in-law. Twice in 24 hours I'd physically assaulted someone. Was I now the violent future daughter-in-law? Were they reconsidering? Suiwan dear, can you eat spicy food? That's what Mama Lin asked. Not, why did you assault that girl with footwear? Not, should we discuss your anger management? Just, can you eat chili peppers? I love this family.
Yes.
I eat everything, Auntie. I'm actually the pickiest eater alive. But I'll figure that out later. Worst case, I cook for myself using interdimensional seasonings. Great. I'll make a cucumber side dish, and then we'll eat. Medicine after lunch. It's been staying warm. Now, here's the thing. Based on my past life timeline, there's a very good chance I got pregnant last night, which meant I probably shouldn't be drinking random herbal medicine. This morning, I'd almost popped a painkiller too. Thank God Xiaobao interrupted me with its come play in the farm routine. I nearly poisoned my potential baby on day 1 of rebirth. Mother of the Year material right here. Andy, this medicine doesn't have any side effects, right? I tried to sound casual.
Just a girl asking about medicine.
Nothing to see here. It's just a women's tonic. Nothing harmful. But all medicine has some downsides.
Why?
Tell you what, let me check your pulse again when we get home. If everything's fine, you can skip it. She thought I just hated bitter medicine. Adorable. Thank you, Andy. My eyes lit up. If my pulse was healthy, no medicine needed, and my maybe baby would be safe. I was absolutely willing to have Xiao Yuyan's child. Last time I lost the pregnancy from stress and heartbreak. This time, this baby is getting born, loved, and spoiled rotten. We arrived at the Xiao house, and the door swung open before Mama Lin could even touch it. Sister-in-law. Nuanyuan had clearly been pressed against the door listening for footsteps. Smart kid. She figured if I was coming home with them, the matchmaking worked. And she was not wasting a single second before claiming me. Hi, Nuanyuan. I gave her cheek a little pinch. Way too thin. This girl needed proper meals. I was going to fix that. Mama Lin sent the siblings to set the table while she took me to her clinic room. Walking through the courtyard, I was genuinely impressed. The house was a proper brick and tile compound, spacious, clean, well-maintained. I'd vaguely heard villagers mention a family living in a fancy house who were descendants of a martyr. That was the Xiao family. Their father had been a military hero. The clinic smelled like herbs and order. Everything was perfectly organized. Medicine cabinets along the back wall, a desk, chairs, a simple bed by the door. Mama Lin was clearly someone who took her work seriously. I sat down and offered my wrist. She placed her fingers on my pulse and concentrated. Then her expression shifted from calm to confused. then shocked. Auntie? Is something wrong? Nothing. Nothing at all. Your pulse is incredibly strong and healthy. You're in great shape. No need for medicine, she was baffled. Last night my pulse had been weak, my energy depleted, my body a mess. And now, 12 hours later, I was pulsing with vitality like a young athlete. She was blaming herself, must have made an error last night, getting old. Eyes aren't what they used to be. Nope, Auntie. You were right both times. I just took a magic bath in interdimensional spirit water that rebuilt my body from the cellular level. Totally normal stuff. Thanks, Auntie. Xiao Yuyan appeared in the doorway. Mom, Wanwan done? Let's eat. Wanwan. He was already using a nickname. My insides turned to marshmallow. The lunch spread was beautiful. A whole pot of chicken stewed with potatoes, a bowl of steamed egg custard, a plate of greens, a basket of white flour buns, and the cucumber salad Mama Lin brought out last. This was clearly a special occasion meal. No way they ate like this daily. The second I sat down, both Mama Lin and Xiao Yuyan reached for my bowl at the same time. Each dropped a chicken leg into it. 2 chicken legs. Simultaneously. I burst out laughing. Auntie, this one's for you. Nuanyuan, this one's yours. I redistributed the legs immediately. There's plenty of meat. I'll serve myself. Sister-in-law, you eat. Yes, dear, have more. But I'd already lifted my bowl out of reach. Nobody was putting anything else in it. I shot Xiao Yuyan a look. Help me. Mom, Nuanyuan, eat yours. He got the message instantly. Mama Lin's eyes went red. Not sad, overwhelmed. She prepared this meal for me, expecting the city girl to be picky and spoiled, and instead I was feeding her family first. Everyone ate until they were stuffed. Then, I dropped my surprise. Auntie, don't cook dinner. I made dumplings today. I'll have Yen bring some over later. Oh, you should keep those for yourself. I set them aside specially for you. Mama Lin looked like she might cry again. Sister-in-law, you are the best sister-in-law in the entire brigade. Nuanyuan was vibrating. Full heart eyes. This child had imprinted on me like a baby duck, and I was here for it. Yuyan, take Suiwan to see your room. If you need any furniture before the wedding, there's still time. Our room. She said it so naturally, like I already lived here. I'll clean up with Nuanyuan. You two go. I followed Xiao Yuyan across the courtyard. The room was bright, noon sun flooding through the windows. Spacious. Clean. I actually really liked it. I was turning around to tell him, so when he grabbed me, lifted me, and pinned me against the door he'd just closed. My legs wrapped around his waist on pure instinct. Arms around his neck. My free hand slapped over my own mouth just in time to muffle the squeak that tried to escape. Wanwan. His voice was low, rough, barely controlled. Those sharp phoenix eyes locked onto mine with an intensity that could melt steel. I felt like he was looking straight through my skin and into my soul. My face was on fire, heart going absolutely insane. I'm here. He pressed his chin into my neck and made a low sound. I want to marry you faster, sir. Your mother is in the next room washing dishes. Your 12-year-old sister is right there. And you have me pinned to a door whispering about marriage with those bedroom eyes. Did I push him away? Tell him to behave? Act scandalized? Reader, I did not. I held on tighter. I kissed him on the cheek.
Just a soft little peck.
His whole body jolted like he'd been electrocuted. Wanwan. What? The engagement is the day after tomorrow. The marriage report comes back in a few days. Then we're married. It's so soon, right? I wanted to marry him yesterday. I wasted an entire lifetime without this man. I'm not wasting another minute. But then reality smacked me. Military marriages require background checks on the bride. And when they look into MY background, they'll find my dad.
Who is?
Not a small fish. If Xiao Yuyan found out my dad's rank before the wedding, it might freak him out. Or worse, my dad might put pressure on him. Strategy. Marry first, reveal powerful father-in-law later. Classic. I pushed Xiao Yuyan away suddenly. What's wrong? Can you take me to town? I need to call my dad. If he doesn't know about this, our marriage application might get stuck. My dad is also military, and his position is very high. But I kept that part to myself. Secure the man first. Surprise him with a terrifying father-in-law after the paperwork is signed. He didn't ask a single follow-up question, just said yes. This man's trust in me is almost concerning. No nap then? We go now. I wasn't tired. Spirit spring body, remember? I nodded. He'd borrowed a bicycle, so we headed out. He even tied a cushion to the back seat for me, without being asked, without making a big deal about it.
Just.
Noticed the seat was hard and fixed it. Where was this man hiding in my first life? Oh, right. I had him imprisoned. Past me was the dumbest person in human history. The ride was impossibly smooth. He pedaled like the road was made of glass. Once we cleared the village, empty streets, everyone napping, I wrapped my arms around his waist.
Oh
My. His abs were like a washboard made of warm steel. I couldn't help myself. My hands started exploring. Wan, his voice cracked. Actually cracked. I felt his entire torso tense under my fingers. I immediately understood what was happening to him. Okay, I'll stop touching. I was laughing so hard I almost fell off the bike. He grabbed my wandering hand with one of his, rode single-handed for a while just holding my fingers, then reluctantly let go. This man has the self-control of a saint and I am testing it. Near the town, Xiao Yuyan spotted a figure speedwalking ahead of us. Is that Sun Qianqian? Trained military observation skills, he could ID people from behind at a distance. The man was basically a human security camera. I peeked around him.
Yep.
That scheming walk was unmistakable. Probably calling her mom. Yen, I want to hear what she says on the phone, because there was no way this was just, Mommy, the mean girl hit me. Qianqian and her mother weren't smart enough to destroy the Yi family on their own. They had to be working for someone else, planted inside our household as moles. An inside job. A thief in the family is the hardest to catch. That's not just a saying. That was literally what happened to us. Think about it. Whoever wanted to take down the Yi family knew that I was the family's weak point. Ruin my reputation and the whole house of cards falls. My dad would overreact trying to protect me. My brothers would spiral, and our enemies would swoop in. That's exactly what happened last life. But this life?
I'm reborn.
And the only people feeling pain will be them. Qianqian gets to go first. Congratulations on being the opening act of my revenge tour. I'll handle it. Wait here for me, Xiao Yuyan said. He parked the bike in a hidden spot where I could see the post office, but nobody inside could spot me. Then he walked toward the building, scanning the area, until he found what he was looking for, a local kid, maybe 13 or 14. I watched them talk. Xiao Yuyan pointed in my direction. The kid's face lit up, and he ran inside the post office. Xiao Yuyan came back. Did you send him to eavesdrop? It's not eavesdropping. The post office is a public place. I laughed out loud. Technically correct. The best kind of correct. 10 minutes later, Qianqian walked out looking disgustingly pleased with herself and headed toward the state-run restaurant. Whatever her mom told her, it made her happy. That couldn't be good. The kid came sprinting over and delivered every word like a tiny military report. Sir, got it all. Then he recited the entire phone call. Mom, that little trampy Suiwan got away. My plan might have failed. I need to check with those guys after I eat. Mom, I can't take it anymore. What if it didn't work? What? Just take her dad? Would Uncle Yi even agree? Mom, you're brilliant. You had a backup plan this whole time. I support you. If he won't marry you, we'll go with that person's plan. Mom, I need money. Oh, and about Yi Suiwan's virgin. The call cut off. But once I get the money, I'll try again. She can't escape forever. The kid patted his chest proudly. Some parts she whispered, but I swear I caught every single word. My blood was ice.
So,
Lu Suxia was planning to steal my father, seduce him, or trap him into marriage. And if that didn't work, they'd execute that person's plan, whoever was pulling their strings. And Qianqian was planning to try to destroy me again, with money from selling information about my, let's just say, my personal status. Every last piece confirmed what I suspected. They were puppets. Someone bigger was behind this. Someone who wanted the Yi family dismantled, and these two cockroaches were the inside agents. I wanted to drag Qian into my farm space and bury her under 100 acres of rice paddies. Great job, kid. Here's money for food. Go treat yourself. Xiao Yuan stuffed a whole yuan into the boy's pocket and gave him a push before he could refuse. I didn't want money. Helping a soldier is enough. Keep it. The kid looked at the bill, realized arguing was pointless against that face, said thanks and bolted. I sat there, jaw clenched, rage simmering. All right, Lu Suxia. All right, Qian. So there's a puppet master pulling your strings. Your mother is targeting my dad, and you're planning another attack on me.
Good.
Now I know everything. And knowing is the first step to absolutely destroying you. Xiao Yuyan pulled me deeper into the alley, his voice low and serious. Wan, I'm not going to ask what's going on. But whatever you want to do, I'll help. Then he briefed me on what he'd found about the thugs that morning. Names, locations, signed confessions, the works. This man had built an entire criminal case file before lunch, while also filing a marriage report and buying groceries. His productivity was terrifying. Didn't that kid say Qian is heading to find those guys after she eats? A grin spread across my face. She was delivering herself right into my hands. I didn't even have to set anything up. The universe was doing it for me.
Yes.
Wifey, what are you thinking? Wifey. He called me wifey. My heart did a somersault, but I kept my villain face on. For an eye. There's a guy from Xiangyang village in that group, right? Let him marry Qian. Then when I leave for the army, ship them all to a labor farm. Pick a nice, isolated spot. Make sure they're well taken care of. Can you help me? I hit him with the sweetest smile I own. Full power. Dimples activated. Yes. No hesitation. Because this wasn't breaking any rules. Those guys were already confirmed criminals. Gambling, theft, attempted assault. And Qian was the mastermind. A military officer cleaning up local scum? That's not corruption. That's public service. Take me to them. He looked at me for a long moment, this woman who could switch from sugary sweet to ice cold in half a second, and just nodded. Yen, when we get there, I talk. You just stand there and look intimidating. He was active military. He couldn't be directly involved in what I was about to do. But being my husband and standing there looking like a weapon in human form? That was just a man accompanying his wife. Perfectly normal. He understood immediately. Smart man. Terrifying couple. 15 minutes of cycling through back alleys brought us to a rundown little courtyard. Xiao Yuyan knocked. Who's knocking on my door? Tough guy energy from inside. Lots of men laughing and goofing around. It's me. Instant silence. Like, someone hit the mute button on the entire building. The door opened. The guy standing there was literally trembling. Xiao. I was dying to know what Xiao Yuyan had done to them that morning. Whatever it was, these men were broken. Are all the guys from that night here? Why, yes. All of them. Wang Ernia from your village too. Inside. Xiao Yuyan grabbed my hand and walked us in. The moment those thugs saw my face, the girl from that night, every single one of them dropped to their knees. In unison. Like they'd rehearsed it. I didn't even blink. You want to kneel?
Kneel.
Not my problem. Listen up. I'm going to say something. You decide what to do with it. I was never here. Understand? Yes, ma'am. Whatever you say. The one I'd smashed with a rock that night was practically crying. Still sore, apparently. Good. Sun Qian has been mooching off a powerful family in the capital since she was 8. She's been saving up their money for years. She's got no father, just a mother. Now, if one of you happened to marry her, where do you think all that money goes? I let that sink in. Don't worry about the powerful family. I guarantee they won't intervene. Also, she hired you for a job, right? Was she generous? I bet she still owes you a final payment? A girl with that kind of cash, out here in the countryside, accidentally loses her virtue and ends up married. Happens all the time, doesn't it? She's coming here today. After lunch. What you do about it is your decision. If I hear something that makes me happy, then what happened that night? You were tricked and manipulated by her. Nobody needs to press charges. But if I don't hear good news, well, messing with a military officer's wife carries a very different sentence, doesn't it? I watched their faces cycle through panic, calculation, and then greed. These weren't complicated men. Their brains worked fast when money and self-preservation were involved. And they were furious, because Qian had told them I was nobody, a worthless girl, with no family, no connections, someone who'd die and nobody would even collect the body. This was the worthless girl? Standing next to the Xiaoyuan? His actual wife. The math was simple. Keep protecting Qian equals labor camp for years. Marry Qian equals free wife with money. Charges dropped, everybody wins. They were already drooling. I'd prefer if the Xiangyang village guy takes her. I have to live there for a while after all. But the profits? You can all share those, can't you? I'd said my piece. Whatever happened next was their doing, not mine. I was just a girl making conversation. Casually. In a completely unrelated location that I'd definitely never visited. These men weren't good people. They didn't need instructions on how to be horrible. I was simply redirecting their horribleness toward a more deserving target. And this was only the beginning for Qian. Eventually, she'd end up at that labor farm. And she wouldn't leave it alive. Not by my hand, I don't do that. But the debt she owes for the lives she destroyed, that gets paid. In full. Are we clear? Was I ever here? Never seen you, ma'am. You will definitely hear good news. Consider it done. Their brains were already spinning schemes. Honestly, if these idiots put this energy toward legitimate work, they could have been businessmen. But some tools are only good for one kind of job. Let's go, Ayen. I grabbed his hand and walked out without looking back. He followed without giving those men a single glance. Not even a farewell nod. They weren't worth the calories it took to move his eyes. Next stop, the post office. Time to call Dad. After I get that marriage certificate, Qian's fate will be sealed. And then I'm bringing my husband home to meet the family.
Game. Set.
Almost match. Back at the post office, Xiaoyuan waited outside like a gentleman while I went in to make my call. I was about to hear my dad's voice for the first time in, well, technically over 30 years if you count both lives. My hands were shaking. My eyes were already burning. Are you making a call, comrade? The clerk snapped me out of it. She'd noticed my nice clothes and figured I could actually afford long distance. Smart lady.
Yes.
Please connect this number. It's Beijing. The clerk's eyebrows went up. Beijing calls meant important people. She dialed fast. Daddy. The second I heard his voice, I burst into tears. 30+ years of missing him just erupted. Sui, what happened? Who bullied you? Tell Dad. My poor father went into full panic mode. He'd been against me going to the countryside from the start. Like, he couldn't arrange a city job for his own daughter? And he'd never seen me cry since I was little. Nobody had ever made me cry. So, hearing sobs? He was probably already mentally assembling a strike team. Nobody, Daddy. I just miss you. Deep breath. Business time. Also, I'm getting married. He's military. The marriage report is already submitted. Please don't block it. I have some things to handle here first, then I'll come home to see you. Don't come here. Dad, watch out for that woman and her tricks. If she asks for anything, say no. I'll explain everything when I'm home. Oh, and it was Sun Qian who signed me up for the countryside program. That last part was strategic. Dad never wanted me sent down. Learning that Qian engineered it would plant the first seed of suspicion. Silence on the other end. I could practically hear his brain buffering. Then, finally, Sui. Nobody's forcing you, right? He knew my personality. Nobody could force me to do anything. Which meant if I was getting married, I actually liked this person. And that made him want to punch the guy even more. A military man, huh? We'll see about that. Of course not, Daddy. I'm bringing him home. You're going to love him. Remember what I said. Be careful with that woman. You'll see me soon. Take care of yourself. Bye. I hung up knowing my dad would handle it. Whatever I specifically warned him about, he takes dead seriously. So Lu Suxia's little scheme to steal my father? Already dead on arrival. Paid for the call, walked outside, and locked eyes with Xiaoyuan. He was leaning against the wall, with that smoldering look that made my knees unreliable. All done. Shall we head back? Need to buy anything? I thought about it.
Nope.
My family had loaded me up with supplies before I left. I was the most well-stocked sent-down youth in the entire province. Nothing. Let's go. He wanted to buy engagement gifts, but the shops were closing. He'd just come back at dawn tomorrow. This man and his pre-dawn missions, it was becoming a pattern. On the ride back, he asked, "After the engagement tomorrow, want to go to the county town with me? We can buy wedding supplies. The town shops don't have much." Yes, I nodded so enthusiastically my forehead bonked his back. Shopping with my future husband? Obviously yes. Plus I needed to buy gifts for his family. Yen, your leave is 1 month? I want to bring you home to meet my family after we marry. Can we? Yes, 1 month. We can go. He sounded surprised I wanted to introduce him so soon. He'd probably expected to wait until Chinese New Year or maybe after a baby.
Nope.
I was fast-tracking everything.
Great.
Keep an eye out for the marriage approval. It should come through fast, because my dad, once he calms down, will make sure that report flies through the system. He gets me. He always has. We'll pick the nearest auspicious date and get our certificate. Xiao Yuyan confirmed. Music to my ears. We got back to the youth dormitory. Everyone was at work. Empty compound. Just us. Want to come sit in my room for a bit? You can take the dumplings home. I made them myself. My own seasoning, my own hands. I tilted my head and smiled. The man didn't stand a chance. Okay. Before opening the door, I mentally teleported the dumplings from my space onto the table. Seamless. Nobody saw a thing. Secret interdimensional food delivery. Successful.
Come in.
Let me pour you some water. My room was spotless. I'm naturally tidy, so surprise visits are never a problem. I grabbed my glass bottle of cold water, actually Spirit Spring water from this morning, and poured him a cup. I handed it to him. He took the cup with one hand. With the other, he pulled me directly onto his lap. I yelped. Did not see that coming. "Wanwan drinks first," he murmured, his breath warm against my ear, guiding the cup to my lips with his big hand. "Oh, okay, I'm thirsty too." I was not thirsty. I was flustered. There's a difference. I took a sip and pushed the cup toward him. He drank the rest in one tilt. Then his eyes landed on my lips.
Wan.
"You have a water droplet," and he kissed me. "Excuse me? That you have something on your face, move?" That is a veteran technique. Where did he learn this? Has this man been secretly dating someone in this timeline?
No. Impossible.
He's a workaholic soldier who's been stationed in the middle of nowhere. There's no way. He's just a natural. Some men are born with it. Infuriating. I was busy having this internal debate when he bit my lip gently. Pay attention. My brain went completely offline. The kiss got deeper, hotter, and I was rapidly running out of oxygen. When I opened my mouth to breathe, he interpreted that as an invitation, and, well, it escalated. I tapped his shoulder. Universal signal for I am literally going to pass out. He pulled back immediately. "Sorry, Wanwan, I couldn't. I was panting like I'd run a marathon, but I nuzzled into his chest to let him know I wasn't mad. Not even close. A gentle kiss on the corner of my mouth. I should go. He had to. Because if he stayed another 5 minutes, things were going to happen on this very narrow single bed, and his mother would be expecting those dumplings. "Do you need help?" I asked because I could feel the situation developing against my thigh. His eyes went wide. He clearly did not expect me to offer that. Then he laughed low, warm, slightly dangerous. "I can endure, but after the wedding, I won't." Translation: I am a gentleman now, but the moment that marriage certificate is signed, all bets are off. "Whatever you say." I scrambled off his lap before things got worse. "You really need to leave. People will be coming back from work soon. Take these." I shoved the tray of dumplings into his hands. "Don't even think about refusing." He closed his mouth. Whatever protest he'd been assembling got shut down before launch. "Thank you, Wanwan." His voice was soft. He wasn't thanking me for the dumplings. He was thanking me for caring about his family. Off he went, dumplings in hand, slightly flushed, definitely uncomfortable in his pants. And I stood in my doorway, touching my tingling lips, thinking, this man is going to be the death of me. Again. But this time, in the best way possible. The second Xiao Yuyan disappeared down the road. I bolted back inside. Over an hour until people got off work. That's 12 whole hours of space-time for farming. Master. You came back. Xiaobao missed you so much. Wah. I ignored the emotional manipulation and sprinted toward the rice paddy.
Was that green?
Already? What am I looking at right now? Xiaobao. Is this real? Am I hallucinating? Tiny green sprouts. Everywhere. I'd planted these seeds literally this morning. A few hours ago. And they were already sprouting like they had somewhere to be. Xiaobao, please don't tell me I can harvest rice by tomorrow morning. Hee, Master is so smart. All crops mature in 24 hours. Did I forget to mention that? It knew. It absolutely knew it hadn't told me. That smug little. I could practically see its invisible face doing a troll face grin. You did not mention that. Whatever.
I'm farming.
All 100 acres. Let's go. You can do it, Master. Xiaobao believes in you. My plan, 50 acres of rice, 25 acres of wheat, 25 acres of peanuts. The moment this thought formed in my brain, the black soil literally reshaped itself into 50 acres of ready-made paddy fields. At this point, I was beyond shock. My capacity for surprise had been completely depleted. Oh, the magic dirt reads minds and terraforms itself? Sure.
Cool.
Normal Tuesday. I chugged a cup of Spirit spring water like a pre-workout shake. Instant energy boost, grabbed seeds, and went hard. 10 acres.
Novadax.
Pure determination fueled by the promise of sanitary pads and modern snacks waiting in the Time Mall. Then my body hit a wall. Couldn't take another step. 10 acres was my limit for now. I looked around at the soft grass at the edge of the field, the blue sky, the gentle breeze, and thought, I should wash up before going back. Instead, I lay down on the grass and immediately fell asleep, like a baby, on a field. Master? Master. Wake up. Someone's coming. My eyes snapped open. Someone's here. I haven't bathed yet. I was covered in dirt and sweat and probably smelled like a farm animal. The grass had been so soft and the breeze so perfect, and you've got 10 minutes. The person is about 2 or 3 minutes away outside. No time for panic. Only action. I launched myself into the stream like an Olympic diver. Xiaobao vanished on cue. I mentally summoned clean clothes and a towel from my room outside, scrubbed at light speed, dried off, dressed, and popped back into reality. Total elapsed real-world time. Barely a minute. Thank you. 12-to-1 time ratio. My hair was still wet though. Wrapped it in a towel. Good enough. Knock knock. Suiwan? Are you in there? Want to eat dinner with us? Miao Yen. Right on time. Sure. Let's eat together. I scooped out half a bowl of rice mixed with a tiny bit of corn kernels. Emphasis on tiny. It was basically all rice. And handed it to her. Here, add this to the pot. Once I'm better, I'll take cooking shifts too. Her eyes went wide at the rice, but she caught herself and smiled. She understood. I was sharing my personal stash. At dinner, everyone sat together. The mood was completely different from anything I'd experienced here. People were actually friendly to me, smiling, chatting, saying hello. Yesterday, I was the ice queen nobody approached. Today I was the girl who fed them the best dumplings of their lives. Funny how 30 dumplings can rebuild an entire social reputation. Miao Yen, bless her, served me an extra thick bowl of porridge. Tonight's porridge is especially good because Suiwan added rice. She announced it so that nobody would question why my portion was thicker. This girl was sharp. Social intelligence, off the charts. Thank you, comrade. I can smell the rice. Can't remember the last time I had rice. Everyone was genuinely grateful. Over rice. Half a bowl of rice. This era was brutal. The dinner spread was humble. 1 bowl of cucumber salad. 1 bowl of pickled vegetables. Cornmeal buns. That was it. In winter, it'd probably be just the pickles. I took a sip of the porridge. Actually, not bad. Soft, well-cooked, went down smooth. Miao Yen had skills. I skipped the cornmeal buns. 1 bowl of thick porridge was plenty for my small stomach. Zhou Jingjing leaned over and whispered, How is it? Can you eat this? She'd expected me to gag. Instead, I was calmly eating like I'd done this my whole life. Well, in my previous life, after everything collapsed, I'd eaten far worse than this. Rock bottom teaches you to appreciate anything that isn't literal garbage.
Totally fine.
One bowl and I'm full. You'll get used to it. Miao Yan's pretty good. When someone who can't cook takes the shift, you get half raw rice. And you eat it anyway because there's nothing else. Yikes. How about I cook a meal in a couple days? Let you all try my food. Day after tomorrow would work, right before the wedding. My farewell dinner as a single dormitory girl.
Yes.
Your dumpling filling was the best thing I've ever eaten. Better than my family's housekeeper. I cannot wait. Then she dropped an observation that hit me. Notice how everyone's eating slowly tonight? Normally they inhale dinner in 5 bites because they're starving. But lunch dumplings put some actual fat in their stomachs, so tonight nobody's desperate. I hadn't noticed. The first day here, we'd all eaten one meal together, and then I'd gone off to eat privately with Qian for 2 straight months. I never saw how these people actually lived. 2 months of isolation. 2 months of Qian keeping me in a bubble, making sure I never connected with anyone, never saw the real picture. Never again. From now on, I eat with everyone. I share what I have. And when I cook in 2 days, I'm going to make a meal that'll have this whole dormitory crying tears of joy. Meanwhile, somewhere in the building, Qian sat alone in her room with a swollen face, no dumplings and no dinner, plotting her next move. Too bad her next move is walking straight into a trap I already set. With thugs who are now working for me. Enjoy your empty stomach tonight, sis. It matches your empty future. After dinner, everyone lined up to wash their bowls. I had to admit, this youth dormitory was actually full of decent people. I'd heard horror stories about other postings where it was constant fighting and backstabbing. But here, everyone was pretty chill. Oh wait, the reason some dormitories turn toxic is usually one rotten person poisoning the whole group. And ours was Sun Qian. Remove the tumor, the body heals. Simple math. Speaking of which, it was getting dark and she still wasn't back. Could it be? Suiwan, want me to wash yours? Miao Yan caught me spacing out. No, I got it. I splashed my bowl clean, put it away, and joined everyone outside. Someone had lit mugwort to keep the mosquitoes away, smart, and the whole group was sitting around chatting. Over here, Zhou Jingjing waved me to a spot next to her and Miao Yan. What are we talking about? Song Kai is reading from the little red book. I raised an eyebrow. What had I been doing every evening for 2 months? Oh, right. Eating privately with Qian, then going back to my room to organize clothes and brush my hair. Living my best useless life while everyone else was actually building community.
Cool.
Very cool, past me. Hey, has that person come back yet? Zhou Jingjing whispered, eyes gleaming with gossip hunger. She wasn't malicious, just powerfully, cosmically nosy about people she disliked. Doesn't look like it. I was about 95% certain of what had happened. And then, Qian stumbled through the gate. She looked like she'd been dragged through a hedge backwards, rolled down a hill, and emotionally destroyed along the way. Her clothes were a mess. Her face was a mess. She looked exactly like someone who'd been.
Well.
She scanned the crowd, and when her eyes landed on me, the tears started flowing. But underneath those tears?
Pure un dilute drage.
Jiang Sui noticed where she was looking and immediately moved in front of me. Suiwan, get behind me. Before I could respond, Zhou Jingjing and Miao Yan flanked me on both sides like personal bodyguards. These two had apparently decided I was worth protecting, and I hadn't even asked. Jiang Sui looked at my instant protection squad and thought, of course. The little tyrant can befriend anyone she wants whenever she wants. Always could.
Suiwan.
Call your dad. I want those men dead. Qian screamed, lurching toward me. Come with me. Come with me. They hurt me. They hurt me. Stop. Don't come near me. My voice cut through the air, like a blade. Several people nearby shivered. Temperature dropped. Then, from behind Qian, a man walked through the gate. Hello everyone. I'm the one who brought Comrade Sun back. Don't worry, I'll take responsibility. We're getting our marriage certificate tomorrow. Wang Erniu. the Xiangyang village local from that group of thugs. Standing there looking like a concerned gentleman. Wang Erniu. Wait, isn't he one of those petty criminals? The youth were whispering. Some recognized him. Song Kai stepped forward. What's going on here? Well, Comrade Song. It's hard to explain. Wang Erniu glanced awkwardly at Qian, who was sobbing uncontrollably. Li Luo, you're her neighbor. Can you ask what happened? Song Kai tried. We're not really close though. Li Luo protested, baffled. Qian ignored everyone and kept crying at me. Suiwan, you have to ask Uncle Yi to help me. He can fix this. He can, Uncle Yi. That's my father. And this snake had the audacity to ask me to call my dad to rescue her? After she tried to have me gang assaulted last night? Jiang Sui, I said calmly. Go talk to him. Get the full story. Then I looked at Wang Erniu with eyes that could freeze lava. Be smart. Tell him everything. He nodded frantically. Smart boy. While they stepped outside, I turned to Qian. You should go wash up. Everyone in that courtyard was young and innocent. But I knew exactly what that smell on her was. And she needed to deal with it before it became even more obvious. Li Luo offered to help carry water. The makeshift shower stall was just some wooden planks slapped together. Not much, but it worked. Off Qian went, still crying. Song Kai, let everyone go to bed. We'll sort this out tomorrow. He agreed to stay. Zhou Jingjing stayed too, because abandoning a juicy scandal was physically impossible for her. Miao Yen stayed because she was worried about me. Everyone else shuffled off to sleep, exhausted from farm work and last night's drama. Outside the gate, Wang Erniu fed Jiang Sui the rehearsed story. I saw her running out of an alley in town, crying. She looked like something terrible happened. So I brought her back. I'll marry her. The real story? The town thugs had their fun with Qian first, faces covered, unidentifiable. Then Wang Erniu swooped in as the rescuer. He told Qian, marry me willingly, or I report you as a loose woman. Your reputation is already destroyed. Might as well get a husband out of it. She agreed. What choice did she have? Privately, Wang Erniu thought she was damaged goods he wouldn't normally touch. But damaged goods with a fat wallet? Different story entirely. Marry her, drain her money, dump her later. Marry someone else. These thugs weren't complicated thinkers, but they were efficient ones. Jiang Sui didn't need details. One sentence told him everything. Leave. Come back tomorrow to handle the paperwork. Then he walked back inside, face like a thunderstorm.
Yes, Suiwan.
Come here. Now. I flinched. I'd only seen Jiang Sui like this once before, when we were little kids and a boy in school pulled my hair and shoved me to the ground. My brothers weren't around, but Jiang Sui was. He tracked that boy down and beat him until the kid apologized on his knees. He didn't care about age or size. You hurt his people? You get hurt. Miao Yen called out nervously. Suiwan, it's fine. I'll be right back. We stepped into a dark corner. He turned to me, eyes blazing. If Xiao Yuyan hadn't been there last night, what happened to her today was supposed to happen to you. Wasn't it? My breath caught. This boy. He'd pieced together everything from watching Qian stumble home. The timing. The method. The thugs. He'd reverse-engineered the entire plot in minutes. Yes, he turned to leave, going to find someone to beat to death, presumably. Jiang Sui. I grabbed his arm. And, to his shock, I actually held him back. Spirit Spring strength was no joke. I handled it. Look how well I handled it. This is just the beginning. You know me, I never take a loss. I need those two to get their marriage certificate tomorrow. My voice was steel. He stared at my hand gripping his arm. Since when was I this strong? Then looked me in the eye. And you? Do you actually want to marry Xiao Yuyan? If you don't, I can fix it. I looked into Jiang Sui's furious eyes and said the simplest truth. I like him. Love at first sight. You know, me. If I didn't want him, nobody on earth could make me marry him. He studied my face for a long moment, searching for any crack, any doubt. Found none.
Fine.
Tomorrow your engagement happens. And SHE gets married and gets out of this dormitory. Jiang Sui. Thank you. My nose stung. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Don't you dare cry. I should have protected you better. Your second brother is going to kill me when he finds out. Put in a good word for me, yeah? His voice had gone soft. Angry Jiang Sui was terrifying, but worried Jiang Sui was a marshmallow. My second brother does whatever I tell him. You'll be fine. I bounced off before he could get emotional. Zhou Jingjing and Miao Yan had been hovering the entire time, ready to jump Jiang Sui if he so much as raised a hand toward me. My personal security detail, fully self-appointed. Oh my god, Jiang Sui was scary just now, Miao Yan whispered, clutching her chest. He'd never hurt me. Come on, let's go check on her. I couldn't even be bothered to say the name. Wait, Suiwan, did she get? Zhou Jingjing's eyes were enormous. I turned and stared at her. How did she? I understand everything. I am a genius of observation. She was so proud of herself. And honestly, she was right. You guessed correctly. OH.
My
God. Miao Yan was lost, but she had the good sense not to ask. I hear what I hear, I don't push for more, policy. Smart girl. We found Qianqian in her room. Li Luo and Qin Fong were there too. They clearly knew what had happened. Suiwan, I knew you'd come. You're the only one who can help me.
I don't want to marry that man.
Please ask Uncle Yi. He can fix this. Uncle.
Yeah.
My father. She wanted me to call my daddy to rescue the girl who tried to have me destroyed last night. The audacity was almost artistic. Nobody can help you. We all know what happened. You don't need to spell it out. You can either marry him, or deal with whoever else comes looking for you, or report it to the police. Your choice. I knew she wouldn't dare report it. The thugs would talk. The whole drug plot against me would come out. She'd bury herself. My dad can't help you.
But we'll look after you, not.
I'm leaving now. The Xiao family is coming tomorrow for my engagement. Marrying a local man isn't so bad. I get the military officer. You get the village thug. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. I turned at the door and gave her one last smile. Gorgeous, radiant, and absolutely lethal. Li Luo grabbed Qin Fong. Let's go.
She needs rest. We need rest.
Everyone needs rest. Bye. Even her roommate was done with her. Left alone, Qianqian spiraled through her logic. Why did MY plan happen to me? I can't report it. I'd expose myself. Wang Ernia wants to marry me?
Fine.
I'll marry him for now. Mom will definitely seduce Uncle Yi, become his wife, and then Uncle Yi will get me divorced. Even if I'm a second marriage, at least I won't get publicly shamed or sent to a labor camp. Besides, Yi Suiwan married a country bumpkin too. A military officer is still a peasant. The mental gymnastics this woman performed to console herself deserved an Olympic medal. She actually convinced herself this was temporary, that her mother would save the day, that my father would somehow become her father and rescue her. Keep dreaming, sweetheart. Keep dreaming. Back in my room, I was so happy I dove straight into my space. I screamed into the misty mountains like a lunatic. Master? Are you mentally okay? Haha. Xiaobao, I'm so happy. People who do evil things deserve what's coming. Right? Right. Master is always right. Since you're this excited, how about planting a few celebration acres? I left. Master, don't leave me. Nice try, little farmer bot. Not tonight. Back in reality, I brushed my teeth, washed up, and started sorting through my belongings. Wedding dowry planning time. I'd bring 50 pounds of flour, 50 pounds of rice, and 20 pounds of peanut oil, plus 2 boxes of biscuits for cans of braised pork, 1 thin quilt, 1 thick quilt, all stuff my family had sent me off with. As for everything Qianqian had borrowed from me over the years, her mother could pay that back. I was writing up an itemized bill. Xiaobao, does the space have flour, rice, and peanut oil? Dead silence. Oh, it was giving me the silent treatment, because I'd just walked out on it mid-sentence. This invisible baby spirit had feelings and I'd hurt them. Not talking?
Fine.
I'll just stop farming forever. Yes, we have everything. Plant wheat and peanuts tomorrow, and after harvest it auto-processes into flour, rice, and oil. You only have to do the planting part, Everything else is automatic, caved in 3 seconds flat. Xiaobao's willpower was impressively non-existent. Inside, I was screaming with joy. Automatic processing? Plant grain, get flour? This space was an entire factory. But I kept a straight face. Can't let Xiaobao know I'm impressed, or it'll get cocky.
Cool.
Noted. You may leave. I continued packing. My room was surprisingly well equipped. 2 wooden trunks, a vanity table, chairs, a small dining table, a bathing tub, thermos, iron wok, clay pot, a small stove. I'd had all the furniture custom-made after arriving. Pretty bougie for a sent-down youth, honestly. Kitchen stuff could go to the Xiao house. When I eventually followed Xiao Yuyan to the army base, I'd buy new things. Hopefully by then, the time mall would be open and I could shop across time periods. The future had espresso machines and rice cookers and focus.
Bedtime.
I glanced at my window. No Xiao Yuyan tonight.
Oh well.
I reached for the lamp. Tap.
Top.
My heart launched. Ah Yen, it's me. I flung the window open. And there he was. Moonlight on his stupid perfect face. Did you miss me? I whispered, voice syrupy sweet. Just wanted to say goodnight. Am I bothering you? He claimed he'd only planned to peek at my window and leave. Saw my light was still on, couldn't resist knocking. Of course, he didn't tell me that. Too prideful. But I knew. You're not bothering me at all. I'm happy you came. I missed you too. I was about to sleep. Just finished packing. I leaned sideways so he could see the organized room. He frowned. I'll help you move everything. Don't tire yourself out, okay? Go home. I'll see you tomorrow. Then, smooth as breathing, I pulled him close through the window and planted a quick kiss. Tried to pull back. His hand caught the back of my head. Held me there. Deep in the kiss until my knees buckled and my brain went to static. When he finally left, I collapsed onto my bed, buried my face in my pillow, and rolled around like a possessed log. Kicking my feet, clutching my blanket, making sounds that would embarrass a teenager. This is what being in love feels like. 2 lifetimes, and I'm only now experiencing it properly. With the same man I threw away the first time. The universe gave me a second chance, and I am holding on with both hands and never letting go. Tomorrow, engagement day. The day after, county town shopping date. A few days after that, married. And then we go home to Beijing. And the real game begins. Dawn was barely breaking, stars still twinkling, and Xiao Yuyan had already made a round trip to town with a basket so full it was practically overflowing. This man operated on military time even for romance. Mom, I'm back. Mama Lin had breakfast ready and waiting. The woman ran a tight ship. Eat fast, then we go. Auntie Hongxia is bringing her sister-in-law and her 2 younger sons to help carry everything. She glanced at the basket, saw it was packed to the brim, and relaxed. Her biggest fear was looking cheap in front of me. Even though her son was objectively a catch, the Xiao family was still just a village family. She wanted to bring her A game. Xiao Yuyan sorted everything into 6 gift baskets. 6. This man was not messing around. After breakfast, Auntie Hongxia arrived with her crew, practically bouncing. Ready to go, Lin Mei. She was more excited than if it were her own son's engagement. Her 2 boys, Jiang Qingfeng and Jiang Qingshan, were home from their county school, and she dragged them along specifically to observe Xiao Yuyan up close. Her logic: no daughters to marry off to him, so at least let my sons learn from a real man. Respect the strategy. The gate opened, and all 4 visitors froze. 6 baskets lined up in the courtyard. White rice, white flour, premium pork belly, fabric bolts, cigarettes and liquor, candy and pastries. Their jaws hit the ground. For an engagement? Not even the wedding, just the engagement proposal? This was the most lavish spread anyone had ever seen. Not just in the village. Probably the entire commune. Possibly the entire district. Xiao Yuyan handed each helper a red envelope and a fistful of milk candies before anyone could form words. Thank you all for today. We can't accept this. We're happy to help, Auntie Hongxia stammered. It's good luck. Take it. Let's go. Men carry the heavy stuff. Ladies take the lighter baskets. He grabbed the flour, 20 pounds, the heaviest load, because he knew I was from Beijing and probably liked noodles and buns and dumplings. He'd been paying attention to every tiny detail since the moment we met. This man had been cataloging my food preferences while simultaneously filing marriage reports and building criminal cases. Everyone grabbed a basket with even bigger smiles than before, and off they marched to the youth dormitory. The entire route took them past the fields where villagers were already working. Heads turned. Whispers spread like wildfire. Is that the Xiao boy? He really does match that pretty Yi girl, military officer. Even a Beijing girl isn't too good for him. The village secretary's daughter is going to be heartbroken. She had her eye on him. Huh? She and her mom went to the county to visit her brother. Come back to find the catch of the decade already taken. Look at those baskets.
Is
that real white flour? I've never seen that many luxury goods in one place in my life. The gossip machine was running at full capacity, but we were blissfully unaware. At the dormitory gate, Auntie Hongxia knocked. Is Comrade Yi here? Jiang Sui opened the door. Behind him stood Zhou Jingjing and Miao Yan. They'd specifically taken time off work to be with me for this. My girls.
my squad.
Please come in, everyone. Jiang Sui was on his best behavior. He'd accepted I was serious about this marriage, so now his only job was making sure the Xiao family understood what a treasure they were getting. He'd done his homework, asked around about every member of the Xiao family, got good reviews across the board, but he was still nervous. What happens behind closed doors is anyone's guess. And my second brother Yiheng? That man would burn the world if anyone mistreated me. We gathered in the meeting room. I greeted everyone, smiled at the people I didn't know, and watched Auntie Hongxia do her thing.
Comrade.
Any requirements? Speak up. Lin Mei and Yuyan are very reasonable people. Let me tell you, girl, this is the first engagement like this in Xiangyang village. Maybe the whole commune. Was it actually the first? She had no idea. But she was claiming it, and nobody could prove otherwise. Auntie, I have no requirements. I'm very happy. I've prepared my own dowry too, and I'll bring the bride price back with me when I move in. The fact that I was returning the bride price with my dowry, essentially saying, I'm not marrying for money, made Auntie Hongxia's eyes go wide. She pivoted to Mama Lin.
Lin Mei. Yuyan.
Do you see how wonderful this girl is? Your family is so blessed. Then she got down to business. Now, Yuyan is on military leave, so time is short. We've picked some auspicious dates. Once the marriage report comes through, we'll choose the nearest one. Sound good. The bride price is 200 yuan plus the 3 rounds and 1 ring. 200 yuan. Auntie Hongxia had nearly fainted when she heard this number. The going rate in this area was maybe 8 to 10 yuan. Maybe. 200 was unheard of. Unprecedented. The stuff of legend. And the 3 rounds and 1 ring, bicycle, sewing machine, watch, plus a radio. He'd gotten tickets for all of them through his military connections. Auntie Hongxia had decided this matchmaking job was the crowning achievement of her life. She would be telling this story at every village gathering until the day she died. Agreed, I said simply. Privately, I was going to tell Xiao Yuyan to skip the 3 rounds and 1 ring. We didn't need a bicycle and sewing machine taking up space when we'd be moving to a military base soon. But that was a conversation for later between husband and wife. No need to negotiate dowry details in front of an audience. Jiang Sui noticed the extra-large flower basket and mentally gave Xiao Yuyan another approval point. He knows she likes flour-based food. He pays attention. Good. Zhou Jingjing and Miao Yan were internally losing it but keeping poker faces. Especially Miao Yan. This poor girl was fighting every instinct to gasp and point. She knew that if she looked too shocked, it might embarrass me. That's a real friend. Wonderful. It's settled then. We'll have a date soon. Yuyan, help Comrade Yi carry all these gifts to her room. Auntie Hongxia had fieldwork to get back to. But more importantly, she was about to become the most popular woman in Xiangyang village. Every auntie, every grandma, every nosy neighbor was going to swarm her for details. And she was going to deliver. With dramatic pauses, hand gestures, and probably some embellishment. You should have seen those baskets.
6 of them.
20 pounds of white flour alone. This engagement was going down in village history. After Auntie Hongxia and her crew left, practically skipping with joy, Mama Lin went with them. Smart woman knew when to give the young couple space. Top-tier mother-in-law instincts. Jiang Sui handed out thank-you gifts he'd prepared in advance, because of course, he had backup gifts ready. This boy was a logistics genius. Come to the wedding, okay? I smiled. Wouldn't miss it. Auntie Hongxia beamed and bounced away. Then it was just us, Jiang Sui, Zhou Jingjing, Miao Yan, me, and Xiao Yuyan. We'll carry these to your room, then head to work, Jiang Sui said. You two can talk for a bit. But, yes, I know. I cut him off before he could finish that sentence. I knew exactly what he was implying. Don't do anything inappropriate before the wedding. Thanks, Emma. Jingjing and Miao Yan snickered. The three of them grabbed the baskets and headed to my room. Once they left for work, the dormitory went silent. Just me and my man. I grabbed his hand and pulled him toward my room. Better to be behind a closed door. We were engaged now, but getting caught holding hands in the courtyard would still fuel a week's worth of gossip. My room was tiny, and with 6 overflowing gift baskets crammed in, there was barely space to stand. Xiao Yuyan solved this problem by simply picking me up, hooking my legs around him, and sitting down in the chair with me on his lap. I didn't even flinch. I was officially immune to being suddenly grabbed, lifted, and repositioned by this man. Personal growth. Wan, just a few more days until I can marry you. I'm so happy. He held me tight and murmured it into my hair. This giant, terrifying military officer sounded like a kid on Christmas Eve. Me too. I nuzzled my chin against his neck and a strangled groan.
Low.
Barely contained.
Oh.
I was playing with fire again. My chin on his neck was apparently a thing for him. Time to change the subject before I did something that would prove Jiang Sui's concerns completely justified. Yen, did you hear about Wang Erniu? He came to tell me himself. They should be at the town office getting their marriage certificate right now. Done deal. Qian, married to a village thug before breakfast.
Speedrun.
Wan, once she recovers from the shock, she might figure things out. I'm worried she'll come after you. Teach me some self-defense moves then. I'll let you in on a secret. I only look delicate. I'm actually really strong. Teach me a few techniques, and I could handle 3 to 5 men. That night, I was drugged. That's the only reason I seemed weak. Might as well explain the strength thing now before he caught me casually bench-pressing furniture later and got confused.
Deal.
You're smart. You'll learn fast. After the wedding. Perfect. Speaking of wedding, is the prep complicated? Can I help? No need. But do you have any requests? I'll make it happen. Then he shifted me onto one leg and started digging through his pockets. Oh, the 200 yuan bride price was just the public number. The family is actually giving you 999 yuan. 999 for forever. He pulled out a fat stack of bills. Plus 9 single yuan notes for the lucky number. Plus 2 savings books. Plus a thick pile of ration tickets.
I stared.
All of this? For me, everything. The money I brought home this trip, minus what's set aside for the wedding. The rest is yours. There's more at the base. I'll give you that when you come for the military posting. This man was literally turning his pockets inside out and handing me his entire financial existence. We weren't even legally married yet. Aren't you afraid I'll run off with all your money? Would you? He looked at me with those burning eyes and that slight smirk, and I took everything, kissed his cheek, and mentally calculated. Between the savings books, the cash, and the tickets, this was a substantial fortune. This man had spent a decade earning military pay and bonuses, spending almost nothing on himself. And now every last cent was in my hands. Let's go shopping tomorrow. We need wedding supplies before the report comes through. Yes, no argument for me. We needed new bedding at minimum. I wanted a big red 4-piece set. Traditional. Festive.
Non negotiable.
I'll skip visiting your family today, though. I want to cook dinner for the dormitory. They've actually been really good to me. He understood immediately. Building relationships. Maintaining goodwill. He supported it completely. Don't tire yourself out. I'll head into the mountains later, see if I can hunt something to send over. This man's love language was providing. Couldn't sit still for 5 minutes without trying to feed me or protect me or hand me large sums of money. After he left, I carved off about a pound of the pork belly from engagement gifts and stored the rest in my space. 5 pounds of premium pork that took money, ration tickets, and connections to get. I'd cure and season it later to bring to the Shao house. 1 pound split among 11 people wouldn't be much, but in 1970, even a taste of meat was a gift. I wanted to share without going overboard. Generosity was good. Being a mark was not. 1 xian was enough for a lifetime. With time to kill before cooking, I dove into the space. Master, could you please act your age? You're 18, not 8. I'm a girl regardless of age. And wait, if I cut the rice, it automatically becomes dehusked white rice. Yes, just go do it. Xiaobao was practically shoving me toward the fields. It wanted me to harvest that mature acre of rice so badly. Apparently, each harvest gave it energy, and it was starving. Even a fly is meat when you're hungry, it was probably thinking. But I had other priorities. The rice could wait. I needed to plant wheat and peanuts first, because if I planted now, they'd be ready by tomorrow, and I'd have fresh flour and peanut oil for the wedding prep. 5 acres of wheat. 5 acres of peanuts. 10 acres total, my current daily limit. Xiaobao watched me skip past the mature rice field and go straight to empty soil.
Fine.
Good things come to those who wait. I've waited this long. What's another day? It was trying so hard to be patient. The spiritual equivalent of a dog watching you eat dinner without sharing.
Sorry, Xiaobao.
Mama's got priorities. Rice harvest tomorrow. Promise.
Probably.
I spent about 10 hours farming in the space, and, honestly, it was the most satisfying thing I've ever done in 2 lifetimes. Who knew throwing seeds into magic dirt could feel like winning at life? I plopped down at the field's edge, summoned a bowl of spirit spring water, and chugged it.
Ah.
I'm alive again. Master, you should farm more and exercise more. Your body gets better every time. Xiaobao said this lazily, like a personal trainer who refuses to get off the couch. I wanted to argue, but it was right. Every day I was getting stronger, faster, more flexible. My hearing and eyesight were sharpening. I could even sense when someone nearby had bad intentions, like a human threat detector. My body was upgrading itself, like a phone installing firmware updates.
Fine.
Deal. Great. Now please go harvest that acre of rice. And come back tonight for the other 10 acres. Beautiful white rice, master. Gorgeous, fluffy, perfect rice. Xiaobao was practically drooling. The desperation was palpable. I grabbed a sickle and walked toward the rice paddy. Golden stalks, heavy with grain, swaying in the breeze. Gorgeous. I cut them down, and the moment the stalks hit the ground, whoosh, they vanished. Auto-collected by the space. Xiaobao, where's my rice? Already processed. Dehusked, sorted, bagged, and stored in the big jar. Check with your mind. I set my awareness into the jar, and whoa. That thing was massive inside, like a warehouse pretending to be a pot. And there, neatly stacked in the rice section, were 10 bags of pristine white rice. I opened one mentally and nearly cried. Every grain was round, plump, and gleaming. The faintest sweet rice fragrance drifted up. This wasn't regular rice. This was premium rice. The kind that would make a 5-star chef weep with joy. Farm space. You deliver quality. As long as master works hard, there's plenty more where that came from. Xiaobao had gotten its energy snack from the harvest and was radiating pure bliss. The whole Xiaobao had leveled up. It was probably doing tiny invisible cartwheels. It silently vowed to push me into farming as much as physically possible. I was its meal ticket, and it knew it. Okay, I'm disgusting, covered in sweat. Bath time, then I'm out. Back tonight. What I really wanted was a proper shower instead of jumping into a stream like a country otter. Yet another reason to unlock that time mall ASAP. Clean and refreshed, I popped back to reality, checked the clock, grabbed my pound of pork, and headed to the communal kitchen.
Suiwan.
You're here. Qin Fong greeted me with a genuine smile. She was on cooking duty today. Want me to help? I was going to cook for everyone tomorrow, but I'm heading to the county town for wedding shopping. Mind if I do the stir-fry today instead? Yes, please. She'd tasted my dumpling filling. She knew what I was capable of. I took my basket to the vegetable garden. Eggplant, peppers, tomatoes, potatoes, long beans. Then back to the kitchen. Washed, peeled, sliced, diced. The pork got cut into thin slices. 2 dishes planned. A veggie stir-fry with eggplant, peppers, and tomatoes, and a hearty stew with potatoes, long beans, and pork. Plus smashed cucumber salad on the side. While Chin Fong handled the cornmeal buns in one pot, I worked the wok. And naturally, every time she wasn't looking, I sneaked in third-dimensional seasonings under the lid. Oyster sauce here, 5 spice there, a dash of MSG for good measure. The kitchen started smelling like a restaurant.
Suiwan.
How is even the vegetable dish this fragrant? The meat one I understand, but plain eggplant and tomatoes. Chin Fong was staring at me like I was a wizard. Which technically I kind of was. A wizard with a secret spice cabinet in another dimension. My dad's a foodie. Grew up watching good cooking. Picked things up, not entirely a lie. Dad was a legendary eater. For the cucumber salad, I smashed them up, sliced some bird's eye chilies, added salt, soy sauce, MSG, a touch of oyster sauce, and poured warm water over the chilies to release the heat. I wanted to drizzle hot oil on top for that sizzling restaurant finish, but too many questions. Warm water worked fine. Everything hit the outdoor table at the same time. Perfect coordination. The stew got pre-portioned into individual bowls, equal pieces of pork for everyone. My idea, Chin Fong's enthusiastic approval. Because if you just put the pot out, someone takes 5 pieces and someone gets none, and suddenly you've got a civil war over pork slices. Fair distribution prevents violence. I should write a political essay on this. What is that smell? Li Luo came sprinting through the gate like a woman possessed. She'd literally outrun the entire work group because her nose detected meat from half a field away. Suiwan cooked. She brought pork from her engagement gifts, Chin Fong announced proudly. I will do anything for you, Suiwan. Name it. I'm your servant. Forever. Li Luo was swearing loyalty oaths before she'd even tasted the food. I liked this energy. When everyone piled in, the reactions were instant. I smell meat. This is incredible. Chin Fong, when did you become a chef? Chin Fong set the record straight, and I kept it casual. Got engaged today, there was pork in the gifts, figured everyone should get a taste. Thank you, Comrade Wai. The guys being formal. Thank you, Suiwan. The girls being family. Compliments flew non-stop. They couldn't believe tomatoes and eggplant could taste this good. The guys were openly jealous of Xiaoyuan. The man was marrying a woman who could cook like this? Only Jiang Sui sat there with a suspicious squint. He'd known me since we were kids. Dumpling filling? Sure, I was a picky eater, I'd no flavors. But stir-fry? Since when could ye Suiwan operate a wok? Stop overthinking and eat. I learned from watching our kitchen at home. You know I have a photographic memory. Oh, right. That explanation satisfied him. He went back to eating, and the food tasted even better now that his brain wasn't working overtime. Everyone was leaning back, full and happy, savoring the afterglow of an actual good meal, when the dormitory gate swung open.
Oh, what now?
The dormitory gate swung open, and in walked Wang Erniu, pushing a wooden cart. Behind him, Qianqian shuffled like a ghost who'd forgotten how to haunt. I'm here to help Qianqian move her things. She won't be living at the dormitory anymore. He glanced at me briefly, then looked away fast. Smart. He knew who arranged this. He also knew not to stare. He tugged Qianqian's sleeve. Which room? Let's hurry. Don't bother everyone. Qianqian's eyes found mine.
Pure venom.
I met her gaze with nothing, just flat, empty indifference.
No anger, no triunfe, no pitch.
Just nothing. She wasn't worth an emotion. Something shifted in her face then. She understood. We were done. Completely, permanently done. For one fleeting second, I wondered if she thought about it. If I hadn't listened to my mom, could we have been real sisters? But knowing Qianqian, that thought probably died before it finished forming. She was already scheming her next move. As long as I'm alive, I have a chance, she was probably telling herself. If I could read minds, I'd have gifted her a sincere, "You're delusional," and moved on. Song Kai led them to her room. Nobody said a word. Nobody needed to. Zhou Jingjing leaped up from the table like she'd been spring-loaded. "Okay, everyone. Dishes. Bedtime." Chop chop, she bolted toward the well with her bowl, moving at a speed that had absolutely nothing to do with cleanliness and everything to do with securing a front-row seat for the moving-out show. "Aren't you going to watch?" she whispered to me on her way past. "Bring me back the highlights." "I'm going to sleep." This was only step one of Qianqian's payback. I didn't need to spectate. Zhou Jingjing positioned herself at the corner of our building row with a perfect sightline. She watched Wang Erniu load the cart. Clothes, furniture, canned food, malted milk powder, pastries, that pink quilt. Everything Qianqian owned. His eyes practically had dollar signs in them. Every item he loaded made him happier. Zhou Jingjing didn't feel sorry for Qianqian. She didn't feel particularly gleeful either. She just watched, filed the information away, and went home. She'd tell me tomorrow. What I didn't see, and didn't need to, was what happened when Qianqian arrived at Wang Erniu's home. The stench hit her first. 3 crumbling shacks, surrounded by filth. She tried to turn around and leave. He caught her. "Where do you think you're going?" The charming rescuer from yesterday was gone. In his place stood the real Wang Erniu, cruel, greedy, and completely in control. His mother appeared, an old woman who'd supposedly needed a cane. The second she saw Qianqian, she threw that cane aside like a prop in a finished play. Her eyes swept over Qianqian the way a buyer inspects livestock. "Good, good. Make her give me grandchildren. Then I can die happy." Qianqian watched in horror as Wang Erniu started carrying her belongings into his mother's room. Everything she owned.
Gone.
"Those are mine." He shoved her aside like she weighed nothing. "I want to call my mom." "Let me call my mom." Calls cost money. "Got any?" He locked her in a room. What happened next was exactly what you'd expect from a man with no conscience and a woman with no allies. I slept soundly that night. Because here's the thing I know that Qianqian doesn't. Her mother, Lu Suxia, did the exact same thing to her own sister years ago. Stole her sister's fiancé, Qianqian's soldier father, by engineering the sister's marriage to a village lowlife. That sister was abused, forced into unspeakable things, and eventually drowned herself in a river. Mother's playbook. Daughter's punishment. The universe has a brutal sense of symmetry. Do I feel guilty?
No.
I didn't lay a finger on Qianqian. I didn't hire anyone. I didn't force anyone. I had a conversation with some men in a courtyard about publicly available information, and they made their own choices. What those choices led to, that's between them and their consciences. Qianqian drugged me, hired thugs to assault me, and planned to destroy my reputation, my family, and my life. She was the architect of a plot that, in my previous life, led to my miscarriage, my father's death, my brother's imprisonment, and ultimately my own death at 20. I don't want her dead. Dead is too easy. Dead is too quick. I want her to live a long, long time. Because for people like her, living is the real punishment. A curse that lasts 1,000 years. That's the old saying, isn't it? She'll have plenty of time to think about whether it was all worth it. The village gossip tree, literally the big old scholar tree at the village entrance, was buzzing these past 2 days. 2 topics dominated all conversation. The 2 city girls who used to be besties, both engaged within 24 hours. One married a military officer in a lavish ceremony with 6 baskets of luxury gifts. The other got hauled off to a thug's crumbling shack with nothing but a wooden cart. The villagers had collective whiplash. Nobody could figure out what happened between point A and point B. Not for lack of trying. Plenty of nosy aunties interrogated the youth dormitory kids. But those kids? Mouths sealed tighter than a submarine hatch. I'd fed them meat 2 days in a row. Their loyalty was bought, paid for, and non-refundable. So while the village buzzed, the 2 women at the center of this drama were living very different afternoons. One was drowning in misery at the Wang household. The other, that's me, was napping peacefully in her dormitory like a pampered cat. Meanwhile, my two favorite men were about to have the most accidentally hilarious bonding experience of their lives. Xiao Yuyan snuck into the mountains during the lunch break, planning to hunt something nice for me. Because that's his love language, bringing home dead animals. Romantic? Debatable. Effective? Absolutely. He did not expect to run into Jiang Sui hiking up the same mountain path with a knife in his hand. What are you doing here? Jiang Sui sputtered. Looks like we're on the same mission. Let's go. Xiao Yuyan didn't even slow down. Just kept walking. Alpha energy radiating off him like heat from a furnace. Jiang Sui grumbled but followed. His plan was to bag a wild boar, give it to the village, and earn goodwill that would translate into people looking out for me after he couldn't. Because Jiang Sui was always thinking 3 steps ahead about my safety. His mental checklist was honestly adorable and exhausting. Qianqian will recover eventually and try something. I won't be living at the dormitory after Suiwan marries. The Xiao house only has Mama Lin and Nuanyuan most days. Suiwan is so soft, so innocent, so trusting. Okay, pause. Soft, innocent, and trusting?
Sir.
I literally orchestrated a revenge plot involving thugs, blackmail, and forced marriage in under 48 hours. But sure. Soft and innocent. Let's go with that. His real strategy was brilliant, though. Make the entire village love me so much that if Qianqian ever tried anything, 50 aunties would descend on her like an angry swarm of protective hornets. This man was building me a human shield made of village women. Genius. He also decided Yi Heng, my second brother, owed him compensation for all this emotional labor.
Fair.
Very fair. Deep in the mountains, Xiao Yuyan was having the hunt of his life. 3 wild chickens, 2 rabbits, and a dopey roe deer that basically walked into his hands. The man was a one-man grocery store. Then he heard a commotion from Jiang Sui's direction. He grabbed a sickle and sprinted over to find Jiang Sui locked in combat with a wild boar. A big one. 2, maybe 300 pounds of angry pork. Together, Xiao Yuyan was already mid-charge before Jiang Sui could answer. Did he think Jiang Sui could handle it alone? Probably yes. But his reasoning was pure Xiao Yuyan logic. If this guy gets hurt, my wife will worry. About another man. That is unacceptable. Therefore, he must remain uninjured. He was protecting Jiang Sui not because he cared about Jiang Sui, but because he cared about MY's stress levels. I cannot with this man. 2 against 1 boar. The pig never stood a chance. Down it went, neck spurting, the whole dramatic forest death scene. This boar I was going to... Jiang Sui started. Your call. Let's get it down the mountain first. They dragged the enormous carcass downhill together, and somewhere along the way, the rivalry turned into something almost resembling respect? Those birds and rabbits in your pack, Jiang Sui said, hauling pig legs. You cook all of them for Suiwan. Understood. Xiao Yuyan actually laughed. Like a real laugh. Something his face was clearly not used to doing. She's my wife. She's my sister. Jiang Sui fired back instantly. And I'll have you know she's got 2 older brothers. Each one more terrifying than the last. Oh, and the scariest one? That's her dad. Uncle Yi. This wasn't friendly information sharing. This was a warning. Mistreat her, and my entire family plus hers will end you. I'll take good care of her. Jiang Sui scoffed, but I think deep down he believed him. Xiao Yuyan made a detour to show Jiang Sui the secret cave, the one where, historical events took place. Only I know about this spot. Use it if you ever need to. A peace offering. Man to man. You're important to her, so here's my secret hideout. Are you taking her with you to the army base? Yes. But not for 2 or 3 months. Until then, please watch over her. You don't need to ask. They emerged from the mountain just as the work bell rang. Villagers spotted them dragging a massive wild boar and nearly lost their minds. Is that what? How? Xiao Yuyan handled the PR. My fiancé's friend Jiang Sui found this boar while gathering firewood. We took it down together. Brigade leader will distribute the meat after work today. Consider it a thank you from us for helping Comrade Yi the other night. Nobody was fooled. A wild boar wasn't something you just stumbled upon. These 2 dangerous men had gone hunting specifically so the village would eat well and remember who provided. Every bite of pork would taste like, "Be nice to Suiwan." Within minutes, the news spread. Work productivity that afternoon hit an all-time high. Every farmer was moving at double speed, motivated by one beautiful thought: pork for dinner. And every single person was thanking me. The girl who was napping in her bed and had absolutely nothing to do with the boar. But that's the power of having a fiancé and a best friend who both communicate love through the medium of large dead animals. I woke up from my nap at 4 something, completely unaware that my fiancé and my best friend had gone full caveman in the mountains and were currently dragging a dead boar through the village like conquering heroes. But I had bigger things on my mind. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, rewinding my past life, trying to figure out the real puppet master behind our family's destruction. The timeline kept nagging me. Dad's study was locked with a key only he and I had. Not even my brothers could get in. So, how did those incriminating documents get out? Did I do something while I was in my post-trauma zombie state? Did Qian sneak in using my key?
Actually,
Now that I thought about it, my brain in the old life always felt foggy, like thinking through cotton wool. Was Qian doing something to me? Drugging my food? Some kind of ongoing sedation? That would explain why I never saw through her obvious lies for years. My head started throbbing, so I shelved that mystery and focused on what I did know. I grabbed paper and pen and wrote down every family in Beijing who had both the motive and the power to target us. About 15 names. Not a short list, but not impossible either. I'd need Jiang Sui for this part. That boy had friends in every shady corner of the capital. Meanwhile, I, the supposed belle of the military compound, had exactly 0 friends. Because Qian had systematically isolated me from every girl my age for years. That witch. Even from her thug husband's shack, her past scheming was still ruining my social life. Anyway, enough brooding. Time to cook. Tonight's menu: tomato egg soup plus savory vegetable egg flatbreads made with mixed grain flour. I grabbed my 6 eggs, 3 for the soup, 3 for the dough, and got to work. Since I was cooking solo tonight, Qin Fong and I had swapped shifts. I could use my space seasonings freely. No witnesses, no questions. The first flatbread came off the griddle, and the smell nearly knocked me over. I tore off a corner and popped it in my mouth.
oh wow.
The grain had this deep, earthy sweetness. The egg made it fluffy. The greens added freshness. It was incredible even without any toppings. These people were about to have their minds blown by a flatbread. 14 pancakes total. 11 for the dormitory. 3 secretly teleported into my space for Mama Lin, Nuanyuan, and my midnight window visitor. I'd just finished washing my hands when Zhou Jingjing came tearing around the corner like her hair was on fire. Suiwan.
Soon.
Come quick. Wait. What smells so amazing? Her neck craned toward the kitchen like a giraffe spotting a treetop. Where are we going? The threshing ground. They're distributing wild boar meat. Jiang Sui and your man hunted it together. They told the brigade leader it's a thank you gift to the village for helping search for you the other night. They literally went into the mountains and killed a giant pig for you. She wiggled her eyebrows at your man. That phrase hit different, and she knew it. Wait, what? They went hunting?
Together?
Those two, who could barely make eye contact without competing? They teamed up to kill a boar, so the village would love me? I was genuinely moved. These 2 idiots, one my future husband, one my lifelong brother, had independently hatched the same plan, bumped into each other on the mountain, and instead of fighting, cooperated to bring down 300 pounds of pork. For me. Okay, fine, let's go look. But dinner's ready. The meat will have to wait until tomorrow. The whole village was gathered at the threshing ground, radiating pure joy. And every single auntie, grandma, and big sister we passed stared at me like I was made of gold. Actually, no, like I was made of pork. Same thing in 1970. The brigade leader gave a speech. The hunters volunteered to share their portion equally with everyone. This is their way of thanking you for helping find Comrade Yi. So in the future, if she needs anything, help her out. Translation: this pork is a bribe. A delicious, perfectly distributed bribe. Bought and paid for by 2 dangerous men who want you to protect their girl. The crowd went wild. People were lining up for their share like it was Chinese New Year. The youth dormitory even got bumped up in the queue for once. Normally we went last. The power of pork diplomacy. Zhou Jingjing was practically vibrating watching the white slabs of meat coming our way. She doesn't even need this, I thought. She's from a good family, but free meat hits different. It's science. Song Kai collected our share, enough to last us a good while if properly preserved. Does anyone know how to cure meat? I asked.
Miao Yan.
She makes smoked and cured meat. She's from Hunan province. Of course she did. That girl had more practical skills than a Swiss Army knife. I'm going to learn from her. We headed back, meat secured, spirits high. At the dormitory, I spotted Jiang Sui and walked up to him. Jiang Sui, thank you. He looked at me like I'd slapped him. Are you sick, this man? I say something sincere and heartfelt, and he acts like I've committed a war crime. He'd literally rather I insult him than thank him. Gratitude made his skin crawl. Verbal abuse was his love language. So I kicked him in the shin. His face relaxed.
Ah.
That's better. We were good. Everyone piled into the dormitory, and the compliments started flying before they even sat down. Oh my God, that smell. I'm suddenly regretting that Suiwan is getting married. Who's going to cook for us? You think she'd stay single just to be your personal chef? A girl can dream. I was actually starving by this point. Turns out orchestrating revenge plots and napping burns calories. Dinner was a hit. Egg drop tomato soup and savory flatbreads. Everybody understood the eggs came from MY stash. Nobody said it out loud, but the appreciation was thick in the air. After dinner, Zheng Kai, one of the senior youth, made a smart proposal. We've been eating really well these past 2 days thanks to Comrade Yi. I say we cure today's pork and save it for autumn harvest. That's when we'll really need the energy. Autumn harvest was brutal. Back-breaking work, dawn to dark, for weeks. Without some fat in your diet, your body just collapsed. Everyone who'd been through one knew this. The 4 of us newbies, me, Jiang Sui, Zhou Jingjing, and a guy named Hao Yong, hadn't experienced it yet, but we trusted the veterans. Zhou Jingjing shot me a look, called it. My share goes to the group. I'm in, I said. Jiang Sui, Jingjing, and Hao Yong agreed immediately. Miao Yan, you're on curing duty, Zheng Kai asked. Leave it to me. I leaned over to Miao Yan and whispered, what's the difference between smoked meat and cured meat? Her eyes lit up. This was her specialty. Her grandmother's specialty, actually. Cured meat is salted and dried or roasted. Smoked meat gets seasoned first, slow-cooked, then smoked over pine or hardwood. Smoked meat keeps more fat, which is exactly what we need when our bodies are starving for oil. I want to learn. Let me watch when you make it. Really?
Deal.
My grandmother taught me. She wasn't around much, but her recipes were incredible. There was a flicker of sadness when she mentioned her grandmother. Clearly the one person who'd been kind to her.
Gone now.
But the recipes lived on. I'll pay tuition. I grinned. After dinner, I pulled Jiang Sui aside. Fun time was over. Business face on. Take this list. I handed him the paper with 15 family names. Get your people in Beijing to watch Lu Suxia. I need to know which of these families she's connected to, who she meets, who she calls, who she's working with. I want answers before we go back to Beijing. They can report directly to me. My eyes were cold enough to frost glass. Jiang Sui literally shivered in the summer heat. What's going on? He could feel it. Something had changed in me. The carefree princess who only cared about snacks and fashion was gone, replaced by someone carrying invisible weight. Someone who'd seen things she couldn't explain. Lu Suxia is a venomous snake. I'm worried she'll move against our family. Her daughter already tried. I just turned it around on her. But the mother is more dangerous. I couldn't tell him more. Couldn't explain how I knew all this. Hey Jiang Sui, funny story, I died, watched everyone I love get destroyed as a ghost, and then got reborn in my 18-year-old body with a magic farm necklace. Yeah. That conversation would end with him checking me into a hospital. But the less I explained, the more alarmed he got. Classic Jiang Sui, silence scared him worse than details.
Done.
I'll handle it. Anything else you need, tell me. Your second brother isn't here, so protecting you is my job. He pocketed the list with the expression of a man about to wage a quiet war. Actually, tomorrow Xiao Yuyan and I are going to the county town for wedding shopping. Need anything? My voice shifted back to light and excited, like flipping a switch. He watched the transformation with mild horror.
No.
I've got everything I need. But I do have your wedding gift ready. Come get it now. Then he grabbed the back of my collar and started walking me toward his room like a puppy being carried by the scruff.
Jansui.
Let go. I am an adult woman. You cannot carry me by the neck. You're acting like a kid, so I'm treating you like one. He let go after a few steps. Self-preservation instinct. He knew the beating was coming. He ducked into his room and came out with a huge cloth bundle.
Here.
Food, supplies, daily stuff. Consider it your dowry from me. There's no money in here, right? Because I'm not taking your money. No money. Let your brother handle that. He owes you more than I do. Now go to bed. He stood there watching me walk away, and I could practically hear his brain working. She's different. She's smarter. She's harder. Something happened. Something big. But she's not ready to tell me. Smart boy. Accurate read. The full truth would come in time. Maybe. If I could figure out how to explain, I died and came back without sounding insane. After I marry, come eat at the Xiao house. I'll cook for you myself. And once I leave for the army, you should join the military too. This place isn't right for you. I knew half the reason he was stuck in the countryside was to babysit me. Now that I was getting married, he was free. And the military would solve his family situation too.
He thought about it, then nodded. Fine.
But before I leave, Qian has to be. He drew a finger across his throat. Leave her to me. She'll destroy herself. Why dirty our hands when karma does the work? Good. Sleep early. I'll make calls tomorrow during lunch break. I trust you completely. Good night. I grabbed my bundle and ran off before things got emotional again. Behind me, Jiang Sui finally put his finger on what bothered him. I'd grown a brain. An actual, functioning, strategic brain. The old Suiwan would never have handed someone a surveillance list or talked about striking first. Something major had happened to me. Something that cracked the fog in my head and replaced the naive princess with whatever I was now. He didn't push. He'd find out eventually. For now, he had phone calls to make, letters to send, and a spy network to activate. Because when Yi Suiwan asks you to investigate 15 powerful Beijing families for potential treason against her own household, you don't ask questions. You just get it done.